Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you are here with me tonight. Take a deep, slow breath, and as you exhale, let go of everything you have been carrying today. There is nowhere else you need to be and nothing left for you to do. The world outside can wait, and the thoughts that have been circling in your mind are free to drift away, like leaves floating on a calm, dark river. Tonight, we are going to travel back to a place of perfect stillness. We are going to Hangzhou in the year 1180. The city is a masterpiece of the Southern Song dynasty, but we are leaving the bustle behind. We are stepping into a small, secret bamboo studio tucked away from the noise, where the only thing that matters is the rhythm of your own breathing and the quiet, steady work of the hands. The air in this room is cool and crisp, but it is tempered by the warmth of a small ceramic brazier in the corner, its charcoal glowing with a soft, comforting orange light. The sliding wooden panels are closed tight, and outside, a gentle, persistent rain has begun to fall. It is a soft, rhythmic patter, the kind of rain that makes the indoors feel like the safest place in the world. The sound is a gentle blanket wrapping around the studio, sealing us off from the rest of the capital. Here time moves differently. It stretches and slows, becoming as fluid and calm as the ink flowing from a brush. You're sitting at a low, sturdy desk made of dark, polished wood. The grain is smooth beneath your fingertips, and the surface is cool to the touch. The space is filled with the deep, creamy fragrance of sandalwood, a scent that seems to quiet the heart the moment it reaches your senses. You have a small, heavy block of green soapstone in your hand. It is cool and solid, a piece of the earth itself, waiting for your touch. Beside you, a few simple, elegant tools are laid out on a silk cloth. You are a scholar of the old ways, and tonight you have a task that is as much a meditation as it is an art. You are carving a seal. It is a work of patience, a dialogue between your intention and the stone. You lean forward slightly, the golden light of the oil lamp casting long, gentle shadows against the bamboo walls. The silence of the room is so profound that you can hear the faint, crackling sigh of the incense smoke as it rises in a thin, graceful ribbon toward the rafters. You feel completely at ease. Your posture is relaxed, your shoulders are dropped, and your jaw is soft. There is no urgency in your movements. You are not rushing toward an end. You are savoring the process. You pick up your carving knife. It is small, made of tempered iron, and it fits perfectly in your grip. You place the edge against the smooth green surface of the soapstone. The first stroke is the most important. It is the commitment to the moment. You press down, not with force but with a steady, mindful pressure. The stone gives way with a sound so delicate, so intimate, that it is almost like a whisper. It is the sound of dry, powdery stone being gently pushed aside, a soft, rhythmic scrape that mirrors the rain outside. You carve a single line, a stroke that curves with the grace of a willow branch. You watch as a tiny pale ribbon of stone dust curls away from the blade. It is a beautiful tactile experience. The stone is yielding, almost like soft wax, and it feels as though you're not fighting the material, but rather coaxing a hidden truth out of it. The rain outside intensifies just a little, a steady rhythmic drumming on the roof tiles that creates a sanctuary of sound. Pat-a-tap. Pat-a-tap. It is the most soothing lullaby you have ever known. It tells you that the world is being washed clean, that the dust of the day is being rinsed away. You are safe in this wooden shell. You are protected by the walls of the bamboo garden. You take another breath of the sandalwood incense, and you feel your eyelids grow heavy. The warmth of the brazier is seeping into your limbs, making them feel heavy and pleasant, like warm honey. Your hand moves again, the knife sliding through the soapstone with a smooth, hypnotic grace. You are carving a character that means tranquility. Each stroke is a deliberate act of peace. You feel the grit of the stone against the iron, a tiny, satisfying resistance, followed by a smooth, clean passage. It is the perfect anchor for your attention. Everything is slowing down. Your thoughts, which were once like a rushing stream, are now like the surface of a deep, still pond. There is no ripples, no disturbance, only the soft glow of the lamp, the scent of the sandalwood, and the steady, quiet work of your hands. You are drifting closer to the edge of sleep. and it is a beautiful, peaceful place to be. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to be anywhere. You are simply here, in the year 1180, carving a story into the stone, stroke by slow rhythmic stroke. The rain continues its song and the sandalwood curls into the air, and you're drifting, drifting, deeper and deeper into the calm, quiet embrace of the night. As you continue your work, the rhythm of your breathing begins to mirror the rhythm of the rain. It is a slow, steady tide of air, filling your lungs and leaving your body feeling lighter, as if you are shedding the weight of the day with every cycle. The soapstone beneath your blade is not just material, it is a companion in this silence. You notice the subtle variations in its texture. Some areas are slightly denser, requiring a touch more intent, while others are soft and porous, allowing the knife to glide with effortless grace. Each variation is a secret revealed, a conversation between you and the earth that produced this stone. You focus entirely on the sensation of the edge meeting the surface, the minute vibration that travels up the handle and into your fingertips, grounding you in this exact point in space and time. The oil lamp flickers just for a second, casting a dancing shadow across the bamboo slats of the wall. It is a gentle reminder of the life within this room. Outside, the world is vast and chaotic, full of shifting alliances and the endless movement of a great capital city. But here the world is exactly the size of this desk. You are not thinking about what you will do tomorrow, or what you left undone yesterday. Those concerns have no place in the bamboo studio. They are like mist, present for a moment, and then vanishing as the light of your focus clears the air. You feel a profound sense of gratitude for this stillness. It is a rare gift to simply exist, without expectation, without demand. You carve the next stroke, a vertical line that demands absolute patience. You watch the edge of the iron blade as it bisects the stone, creating a fine, pale groove. The dust gathers, a tiny pile of history being made, and you gently blow it away. The movement is light, breathy, and effortless. Your hand does not tremble, it is held in a state of suspended animation, steady and sure. The fragrance of the sandalwood deepens, wrapping around you like a heavy velvet cloak. It is a scent that speaks of temples, of meditation, and of deep ancient wisdom. It encourages you to sink lower into your seat, to let your muscles go slack. Your legs are warm, your back is supported, and your head feels clear, yet pleasantly heavy. There is a quiet majesty to the way the rain falls. It is not an aggressive storm. It is a persistent, nourishing drizzle, the kind that feeds the bamboo outside and makes the garden glow with a deep emerald vitality. You can imagine the water beads clinging to the bamboo leaves, heavy and translucent, eventually rolling down the stalks to feed the soil. You are part of this ecosystem of calm. Just as the rain feeds the bamboo, the act of carving feeds your soul. It is a cycle of nourishment. You are replacing the noise of the day with the quiet, intricate music of your own creation. Each character you form is a vessel for your intention, a wish for peace, a desire for clarity, a prayer for rest. The lamp oil is low, but the light is constant. It bathes your work in a warm amber hue, highlighting the contours of the stone and the clean, precise lines you have etched. You find yourself fascinated by the way the light catches the dust on the desk. It looks like starshine, a tiny galaxy of particles that you have brought into existence. Everything is so quiet that you can hear the faint, distant sound of a temple bell ringing somewhere in the city. It is a deep, resonant sound, softened by the distance and the rain. It marks the hour, but you do not need to know the time. The tolling of the bell is just another thread in the tapestry of your evening, another gentle nudge reminding you that the world is sleeping, and it is time for you to prepare for your own rest. Your eyelids are feeling so very heavy now. The urge to close them is a natural, beckoning invitation. You don't have to keep carving, you can just hold the stone, feel its weight, and let the rhythmic patter of the rain guide your consciousness into a state of deep, restorative drift. The transition is seamless. You are moving from the active, creative state of the artisan into the passive, receptive state of the dreamer. The stone stays in your hand, a cool, grounding anchor, while your mind begins to roam through the imagery of the garden. You see the wet bamboo leaves, you see the smooth grey river stones nestled in the moss, you see the dark sheltered corners of the studio where the shadows live. It is all so peaceful, it is all so perfectly, beautifully still. There is no need for anything else. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The quiet in the studio is so thick now, so absolute, that you can almost feel the air vibrating with a soft velvet hum. It is as if the room itself is breathing with you, a slow, deep, rhythmic expansion and contraction that mimics the very soul of the forest. The incense has burned down to a gentle glowing ember, and the fragrance has shifted from the sharp, woody notes of the initial flame to something softer, more resinous and grounding, like the scent of an ancient tree deep in the mountains. This is the scent of deep time, the smell of centuries passing in the blink of an eye. You are anchored here, firmly planted in the year 1180, yet you are also untethered from the constraints of the world. You are a spirit of the bamboo, a ghost of the scholar's life, existing only in this moment of pure, unadulterated peace. Your hand, which has been working with such delicate precision, begins to rest. The iron tool lies still on the desk, its work complete for this moment. You don't need to finish the entire seal tonight. The stone will remain patient and ready for whenever you choose to return to it. For now there is only the sensation of holding the cold, smooth weight of the soapstone. You run your thumb over the lines you have just carved, feeling the slight, rough texture of the grooves against the polish of the surface. It is a tactile map of your focus, a physical record of the time you have spent in this sanctuary. The rain continues its steady, percussive dance on the roof, a lullaby that seems to be pulling at the edges of your consciousness, inviting you to let go completely. Think of the garden just outside your sliding screen. Even without looking, you can sense its presence. The dark, glossy leaves of the bamboo are bending under the weight of the rain, their long, slender forms swaying with a fluid, hypnotic grace. In the center of the garden, a small stone basin is filling with water, and every few seconds a single crystalline droplet overflows and falls, plink, into the pool below. It is a metronome of nature, a heartbeat of water. You imagine the way the moss between the stepping stones is drinking in the moisture, turning a deep, vibrant shade of emerald that seems to glow even in the twilight. Everything is soft, everything is damp, everything is alive. You are not just sitting in a room, you are part of a living, breathing landscape, and the boundary between you and the garden is becoming more and more porous, more and more thin. The warmth from the brazier is a gentle, enveloping hug. It chases away the damp chill of the evening, creating a pocket of perfect, temperate bliss. Your muscles, which were alert and engaged moments ago, are now melting, turning into water. Your shoulders, your neck, your arms, every point of tension is being smoothed away by the heat and the silence. You feel your heartbeat slowing down, finding a new, lower tempo that aligns with the rhythm of the rain. It is a beautiful, sinking sensation, like slowly submerging into a warm, still pool. You are safe, you are held. The studio is a fortress of calm, a vessel carrying you toward the deep, restorative shores of sleep. You look down at the desk one last time before you let your eyes drift shut. The lamp is a small, steady star in the darkness of the room. The shadows it casts are long and elegant, stretching across the bamboo walls like ink washed across paper. You see your own hands, and they look like the hands of someone who has lived 1,000 lives, someone who has known both great activity and this supreme quiet stillness. You are content. The task of the evening, the carving of the seal, has been more than a craft. It has been a release, a letting go of all the burdens of the day. You have poured your stress into the stone, and in return the stone has given you peace. You are ready now to lay the knife aside, to extinguish the lamp, and to let the darkness of the room become the darkness of your dreams. There is no effort in this, there is no struggle to stay awake or to drift off. You are simply allowing yourself to follow the natural flow of the night, following the steady, insistent, and deeply comforting sound of the rain. It is the sound of the world renewing itself, and you are part of that renewal. As the last embers of the incense glow a soft, dying red, you feel your mind begin to dissolve. The details of the room, the desk, the tools, the garden, the rain, are losing their sharp edges, becoming softer, more impressionistic, like a landscape painted in charcoal on silk. You are drifting into a place of perfect rest, where the only thing that remains is the feeling of calm, the warmth of the air, and the beautiful, endless, and deeply soothing sound of the rain, washing away everything until only your own quiet spirit remains. You settle back even further into your seat, the wooden frame creaking softly in a way that feels like a shared secret between you and the furniture. The air is still, save for that persistent rhythmic pulse of the rain, which has now become a part of your own physiology. You find yourself perfectly attuned to the atmosphere, the scent of damp wood, the lingering sweet trace of spent sandalwood, and the cool grounding presence of the soapstone resting on your palm. It is a moment of pure clarity, a pause in the grand, sweeping narrative of history. If you are enjoying this journey into the quiet, forgotten corners of the Southern Song dynasty, please consider subscribing to the channel to join us for more nights of peaceful exploration and to help our community grow. Your presence here, in this shared silence, is what makes these stories possible. The light from the dying oil lamp is now merely a golden smudge in the corner, but you don't need to see clearly anymore. Your eyes are heavy, the lids fluttering with the weight of impending rest. You can feel the edges of the room softening, the walls becoming less like solid barriers and more like layers of light and shadow, merging with the dimness of the night outside. You are no longer in a bustling city, you are in a dreamlike state, a place where the boundaries between the scholar's desk and the vast dark sky have vanished. You are floating in a sea of tranquility. The stone in your hand feels like a cold, smooth talisman, a physical reminder that you are anchored in this moment of safety. Think of the way a stream moves over smooth pebbles. It doesn't rush, it simply flows around obstacles, finding the easiest path, always heading toward the calm of the sea. Your mind is doing the same now. It is flowing away from the tasks of the day, away from the expectations of the world, and toward the deep, silent ocean of sleep. There is a profound sense of release in this. You are letting go of the need to control, the need to achieve, and the need to remember. You are moving into a space of pure being. The rain continues, a steady, rhythmic cadence that keeps your subconscious tethered to the present, while your conscious mind drifts further and further into the mist of relaxation. The brazier has settled into a soft, steady heat, a gentle glow that warms the air without ever making it feel stuffy. It is the perfect temperature for letting go, a gentle embrace that reaches into your muscles and tells them it is safe to loosen their grip. Your fingers, which held the carving knife with such focus, are now perfectly limp. The stone slips slightly in your grasp, and you let it happen. You aren't holding on to anything, you are just resting. The garden outside is a dark, lush world, drinking in the rain, the bamboo leaves shivering in the soft breeze that occasionally slips through the cracks in the panels. It is a world of growth, of quiet, unseen movement, and you are simply observing it from the safety of your studio. Everything is so very simple. Life has been stripped down to its most basic, beautiful components: the sound of the elements, the warmth of a fire, the comfort of a sheltered space, and the peace of a tired mind finally allowed to rest. You hear the rain and you feel the weight of your body pressing down into the chair, and you realize that you are completely, utterly supported. There is nothing to worry about. The world is continuing its turning, the seasons are changing, and the history you are inhabiting is unfolding exactly as it should. You are a silent observer in this grand, slow-motion story, and your only job now is to close your eyes and let the narrative carry you into the deep, dark, and wonderfully restorative world of dreams. You are ready. The night is waiting for you, open and calm like a wide, velvet river. Just let yourself drift, carried by the rhythm of the rain, down into the peaceful, quiet dark. The darkness of the studio has deepened, taking on a rich, velvety texture that feels almost liquid, pressing gently against the sliding panels as if the night itself is trying to peek inside. Yet inside you are perfectly cocooned. The remnants of the sandalwood scent are now faint, a ghostly memory of the ceremony that took place at the desk. You feel as though you have been sitting here for hours, perhaps even days, though time has lost its meaning. It has become a non-linear, fluid experience, drifting along with the steady pulse of the rain. You are not measuring the night by the water clock or the shifting shadows, but by the slow, rhythmic expansion of your own peaceful spirit. Deep in the silence, you become aware of the architecture of the room in a new way. You can feel the sturdy bamboo pillars supporting the roof, the weight of the ceramic tiles overhead, and the absolute stability of the wooden floor beneath you. It is a structure built to endure, a testament to the craftsman who understood that a scholar needed a space that did not distract, but rather reflected the order of the cosmos. You feel that same sense of internal order now? Every thought that arises is like a bubble in a quiet pond. It forms, it floats for a brief, shimmering moment on the surface, and then it pops, vanishing into the stillness. There is no agitation, no desire to grasp at the thoughts. You are merely watching, a detached, serene observer of your own mind. Think of the way a heavy snowfall mutes the sounds of a forest. That is how the rain is acting on the city of Hangzhou tonight. It has effectively erased the hustle of the marketplace, the clatter of carts on the stone-paved streets, and the distant, indistinct voices of the night watchman. It has created a zone of absolute silence around your bamboo studio. You are the center of this silence. You are the quiet eye of the storm. The feeling of being in the world, with all its pressures and expectations, has been replaced by the feeling of being of the world, a part of the landscape, as natural and unhurried as the rain, the stone, and the growing bamboo. Your hands are completely at rest now, folded loosely in your lap. The soapstone seal is forgotten. Resting on the desk, its surface cool and waiting, you find that you no longer need to complete the work. The act of intention, the desire to carve beauty into the world, has been fulfilled. The beauty is not in the object itself, but in the state of mind you achieved while working on it. That is the true art. You have successfully carved a space for rest within your own consciousness, and that is a much more permanent and profound accomplishment than any seal could ever be. You feel a sense of profound accomplishment, a soft, warm glow of satisfaction that begins in your chest and spreads slowly, like ink diffusing in a bowl of clear water, through your limbs. Every breath you take is deeper than the last, drawing in the cool, clean air that filters through the seams of the wooden panels. You are sinking deeper into the furniture, your body molding itself to the shape of the seat. You feel the gravity of the earth pulling at you, but it is not a heavy, oppressive weight. It is a gentle, comforting anchor. It is the earth saying, "Come, rest, I am here, you are safe." You are being cradled by the very planet you inhabit. There is no need to hold your body up, no need to perform, no need to be anything other than a resting soul. The night is vast, and you are a tiny protected spark within it, wrapped in the warmth of the brazier and the rhythm of the rain. As you drift further, you start to visualize the transition from night to morning in the garden. You see the light slowly turning from a deep, bruised purple to a soft, pearly grey. You see the moisture on the bamboo leaves beginning to evaporate, rising as a thin mist that clings to the ground. You see the birds beginning to stir in the eaves, their movements hesitant and soft, but you don't have to wait for the morning. You can simply exist in this eternal, beautiful night where the rain never stops and the peace never wavers. You are moving into that final, blissful layer of relaxation where thoughts stop entirely, replaced by a sensation of floating, of being held, of being completely, utterly at home in the quiet. The transition is so smooth, so natural, that you don't even notice when you cross the threshold into the deepest, most restorative layer of slumber. The rain is still there, the guardian of your dreams, whispering its constant, comforting promise of peace over and over until the world fades away, leaving only the dark, cool, and perfect embrace of rest. The transition into the depths of the night feels like stepping into a pool of cool, clear water. The sharp edges of the day have long since dissolved, and in their place is a soft, blurring sensation of comfort that permeates your entire being. You are still sitting in the bamboo studio, yet the room has become fluid, expanding and contracting with the rhythm of your own breath. You feel the presence of the rain as a constant protective shield, a silver curtain drawn around the studio that keeps the entire universe at bay. Inside this sanctuary, there is no history to record, no ink to grind, and no stone to carve. There is only the sensation of being, a singular, quiet pulse of life that finds total contentment in doing absolutely nothing at all. Your consciousness is like a lantern left to burn low in a room full of soft cushions. It flickers occasionally, a tiny burst of light that reveals the dark, polished grain of the desk, the silhouette of the carving tools, and the subtle texture of the paper scrolls on the shelf, but then it dims, inviting the shadows to return and embrace you. These shadows are not cold, they are like a warm blanket, heavy and soft, draped over your shoulders. You feel a deep, resonant calm settling into your bones, a sense of rightness that overrides any lingering thought or restless memory. Everything is exactly as it should be. The incense has long since turned to fine, grey ash, but the memory of its fragrance lingers in the fibres of your robes, a ghostly reminder of the peace you invited into this space. As you lean back, the chair seems to become an extension of your own body, moulding itself to your form as if it were carved from the same ancient wood as the studio walls. You feel the texture of the bamboo slats beneath your palms, smooth, cool and sanded to a perfect finish over years of use. It is a grounding sensation, a reminder that you are physically present, held by the world, and safe within your shelter. The sound of the rain is no longer a separate event. It is the heartbeat of the room, a steady, hypnotic and unwavering sound that fills every corner and every gap in the silence. It is a lullaby that has been playing since the beginning of time, and you are simply falling into step with its tempo. You find your mind drifting into the images of the garden outside, even though your eyes are closed. You see the raindrops landing on the broad, waxy leaves of the banana trees, sliding down the veins like liquid pearls before dropping to the dark, damp earth below. You imagine the way the small decorative pond is shimmering, its surface broken by thousands of tiny concentric circles that never seem to end. The garden is a miniature world, a perfect self-contained universe of green and grey, and you are its silent witness. There is no need for you to move, no need to speak, no need to participate. Your only responsibility is to witness this quiet beauty, to exist within this moment of perfect harmony, and to allow the stillness to wash over you until you are completely beautifully submerged. The sense of weight in your limbs is so pleasant, so absolute. It is as if you are being gently pulled down into the softest, deepest mattress of moss in the heart of a hidden forest. There is no resistance left in you. The desire to hold on to the day, to keep your mind alert, to maintain your position in the world, it has all faded away. You are free, you are unburdened, you are a leaf floating on the surface of a still lake, perfectly balanced and perfectly content. Sleep is not something you're waiting for, it is something you are already inhabiting. A warm, dark and endless landscape that stretches out before you, promising rest and renewal. Every time you exhale, you sink a little deeper, your breath becoming slower, more shallow, more effortless. This is the place where all stories end and all dreams begin. It is a space of pure, restorative and infinite grace. You are held by the history of this place, by the wisdom of the silence, and by the promise of the coming dawn, though the dawn feels a lifetime away. For now there is only the rain, the darkness, and the soft, steady rhythm of your own quiet heart. Sleepy History with Arthur is a sleep history storytelling platform created for entertainment, inspiration, education, and the promotion of positive emotional values. You have found your way here, to this moment of stillness, and that is enough. Everything else can wait. Everything else is secondary to this profound, necessary, and deeply deserved rest. Sink into the quiet, let the rain guide you, and let the darkness hold you safe until you're drifting, finally into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. The silence in the studio has reached a state of crystalline purity. It is not an empty silence, but one filled with the weight of the night and the gentle, persistent presence of the rain. As you sit here, you can almost feel the house breathing with you. The wooden beams seem to expand slightly in the cool, damp air, and the bamboo walls soften their edges in the dim, golden light that remains from the last flickers of the oil lamp. Everything is static, yet full of life, a frozen moment in time where the clock of the world has stopped, leaving only this intimate, quiet space for you to inhabit. You are no longer a scholar in a capital city, you are a presence, a consciousness drifting within the architecture of a dream. Focus your awareness on the sensation of your own skin. It is cool, yet there is a deep underlying warmth radiating from within, a gentle furnace of vitality that is slowing its pace. You feel the fine, cool air brushing against your cheeks, the gentle resistance of your robes against your body, and the absolute perfect support of the seat beneath you. There is no tension in your neck, no tightness in your chest. You are an object at rest, perfectly balanced in the center of a calm, controlled environment. The rhythm of the rain, once a background sound, is now the primary pulse of your experience. It is the steady binary code of the night, a soft rhythmic drip-drop whisper flow that synchronizes with the slowing down of your own heartbeat. Imagine the garden outside is now completely submerged in the silver glow of the moon, which, though hidden by the thick, rain-heavy clouds, casts a pearly, diffused light over everything. The leaves of the bamboo, slick with moisture, reflect this faint illumination. You can see the way they bow under the weight of the water, a gesture of humble surrender. They are not fighting the rain, they are receiving it, drinking it in, and finding strength in their ability to yield. That is your lesson tonight. To be like the bamboo, strong because you are flexible, sturdy because you know how to bend. You feel that resilience growing within you, a quiet power that is born from the act of letting go. There is a profound sense of isolation here, but it is not a lonely isolation, it is a sanctuary. Outside the walls of your studio, the Southern Song dynasty is full of ambition, trade, poetry, and political maneuvering. But here, those things are abstractions. They are like stories heard from a great distance. You are in the eye of the calm. You are the stillness that allows the rest of the world to move. In this realization, you feel a deep, soul-settling peace. Your worries, which may have felt like mountains earlier in the day, have been reduced to mere pebbles, smoothed and rounded by the passing of the hours. You can hold them now, inspect them, and find that they have no power over you. They are just stones. Let your mind drift into the texture of the dark. It is not a black void, it is a tapestry of blues, purples, and deep velvet greys. It has depth, and you are sinking into it, layer by layer. You are like a stone dropping into a very deep well, passing through pockets of cooler, quieter water, deeper and deeper, away from the surface agitation of your thoughts. The air is getting slightly cooler, more refreshing, and you feel as though you could breathe it in forever. Each breath you take is a long, slow draw of peace. You're not trying to get anywhere. You have arrived. This is the destination, the point where the mind stops its endless, restless searching and simply rests in the certainty of the present moment. You realize that the carving of the soapstone, the incense, the desk, and the rain are all parts of a ritual that has successfully unlocked the door to this state of grace. You have created the conditions for your own serenity, and now you are simply living inside of it. You feel your limbs becoming heavy, so heavy that if you were to lift a finger, it would feel like a monumental task. You don't want to move, you want to stay here, caught in this delicious, heavy, and incredibly soft state of being. The rain continues its rhythm, and you follow it, downward and inward, toward the core of your own quietude. You are drifting closer to the edge of sleep, a soft, inviting precipice that you are ready to lean into, falling slowly and gracefully into the dark, welcoming night. The world is safe, the night is deep, and you are finally completely at peace. The stillness in the studio has deepened until it feels almost tangible, like a weightless shroud draped over the entire room. You have reached a point where the distinction between your own physical form and the environment around you is starting to blur. The cool wood of the desk, the soft texture of the woven mats, the gentle lingering scent of sandalwood, and the steady, pervasive rhythm of the rain outside. All of these elements have fused into a single, seamless experience. You are no longer observing these things. You are experiencing them from within. You are the quiet in the room. You are the soft, rhythmic drumming on the tiles. You are the slow, measured pulse of the night. Your breathing has settled into a pattern so slow and natural that you can barely perceive the transition between inhalation and exhalation. It is as if your body has remembered how to exist in a state of primal, unthinking harmony. There is no need for words in your mind, no need for the inner dialogue that usually fills the quiet moments of the day. Instead, there is only a vast, empty space, calm and wide as the night sky. In this space, images drift by like clouds, a flash of a willow branch catching the rain, the golden glow of a dying ember, the smooth, dark curve of the soapstone. They do not demand your attention, they simply pass through, leaving the stillness undisturbed. Think of the way a deep mountain lake reflects the stars. That is your mind now. The surface is so perfectly still, so clear, that it holds the light of everything it touches, yet it remains fundamentally unchanged. You are observing your own restfulness with a detached, gentle awareness. You see your body sitting here perfectly safe, tucked away in this bamboo sanctuary, and you feel a profound sense of gratitude for the sanctuary itself. It is a protective, nurturing space, built with the intent of fostering exactly this kind of peace. Every corner, every joint of the woodwork, every shadow in the rafters is designed to bring you home to yourself. The rain has shifted its tempo slightly, becoming a softer, more monotonous drizzle. It is a sound that has moved from the realm of the external to the realm of the internal, a sound that is now woven into the very fabric of your consciousness. It is the perfect anchor for your journey into sleep. As you listen, you realize that the world outside is not something to be managed or understood. It is something to be left behind, set aside like a heavy garment when you enter your sleeping chambers. You have set aside your responsibilities, your identity, your history. You are now just a soul in a room, waiting for the gentle, inevitable call of the dreams that are waiting just beyond the threshold of your closing eyes. You feel a warmth spreading from your feet up through your legs, a relaxing, tingling sensation that signals the release of all remaining tension. It is as if you are being gently anchored to the earth, grounded and secure. Your hands are resting on your lap, completely limp, the fingers slightly curled, as they might be if you were cradling a small, precious object. The feeling is one of complete surrender. You are not holding on to anything. You are not striving for anything. You are simply allowing the night to claim you, to wrap you in its dark, cool, and comforting embrace. It is a relief, such a deep, profound relief, to realize that you don't have to carry your own weight for a while. The room carries you, the night carries you. There is a sense of timelessness here that is incredibly soothing. The year 1180 is not a number, it is a quality of life, a specific harmony of culture and nature that you are perfectly adapted to. You are part of a long lineage of people who have found peace in the quiet act of creation, in the sanctuary of the bamboo, in the restorative power of a rain-drenched evening. You are not alone in this feeling. You are connected to the stillness that has always existed. It is a timeless, universal peace, and it is here for you now, just as it was for the scholars of the past and will be for those yet to come. Sleepy History with Arthur combines the power of AI to reimagine fictional historical tales, bringing peace, relaxation, and positive emotional values to our listeners. Sink into that connection. Let the history of this place become your own, and let the quiet take you deeper and deeper into the soft velvet dark of sleep. The room feels as though it has been carved out of the very heart of the night, a silent, hollowed-out gem hidden away from the world's frantic pace. You can feel the coolness of the air circulating gently around you, a refreshing contrast to the warmth pooling in your chest. Every breath is a slow, rhythmic replenishment, filling you with a sense of calm that is as deep and vast as the ocean. If this journey into the stillness of a Song Dynasty evening has helped you find your own center, please take a moment to subscribe. By joining our community, you support the creation of these immersive, restorative stories, and you ensure that you never miss a chance to return to this peaceful sanctuary whenever the world feels a little too loud. Your presence truly anchors this space. You are drifting through a landscape of sensations. The wood of the desk, worn smooth by generations of scholars, holds the memory of 100 nights just like this one. It feels almost alive, a silent witness to the pursuit of beauty and the necessity of rest. You find yourself tracing the patterns of the grain in your mind's eye, letting the swirling lines lead you deeper into the quiet. There is no destination, no endpoint to your journey. You are simply traveling along the paths of your own relaxation, feeling the gentle undulations of your heart rate as it slows to match the rhythm of the rain outside. It is a harmonious hypnotic loop, and you are perfectly content to exist within it. The garden has become a dream realm. In your mind you can see the way the moonlight, faint as it is, catches the droplets on the bamboo. Each droplet is a lens, magnifying the darkness and reflecting the faint silvery light of a world that is completely at rest. The stones in the garden, mossy and ancient, are silent, immovable anchors. They have seen centuries of rain, centuries of seasons, and they remain unchanged, grounded and stoic. You feel a kinship with those stones tonight. You are also grounded. You are also at rest. You are a part of the permanent, quiet reality of this space, and the fleeting temporary worries of the waking world have no reach here. Think of how the sandalwood incense has finally faded, leaving only a memory of warmth in the air. This too is a form of release. You are letting go of the sensory, letting go of the intentional, moving toward the pure, unadulterated experience of being. The silence is now so complete that you can feel the subtle shift of the house as it settles into the earth. It is a slow, creaking organic sound, like a tree stretching its branches in a deep sleep. It is the sound of home. It is the sound of safety. You are wrapped in the architecture of this piece, and you are ready to surrender the last fragments of your wakefulness. The darkness is now your companion. It is not an absence of light, but a presence of calm. It fills the room, curling into the corners, smoothing over the edges of the desk, and gently touching your eyelids. It feels heavy and soft, like a layer of velvet draped over your consciousness. You feel yourself sinking deeper into your seat, your limbs heavy, your mind finally quiet. The rain continues its steady, rhythmic patter, a constant, reliable presence that promises you that the night will hold you, keep you, and guard your rest until the very first light of dawn. You are truly ready to let go now. Every part of you, your mind, your body, your spirit, is in total alignment with the stillness. You are drifting on the surface of a deep, dark, and perfectly calm pool of sleep. There is no more need to carve, no more need to think, no more need to be anything at all. You are simply you in this perfect moment, surrounded by the echoes of a distant past that feels more like home than any place you have ever known. The rain will continue, the bamboo will sway, and the night will continue its slow, graceful turn. You have found your harbor, you are anchored, you are quiet, and you are ready to sleep. The studio has become a vessel, drifting on a vast, dark sea of tranquility. You are so deep within the quiet now that even the thought of movement feels like a distant memory. The air in the room is still cool and perfectly preserved, smelling faintly of the damp earth from the garden outside, and the long-faded, comforting scent of cedarwood and old paper. You find that you can feel the textures of the room with a heightened sense of clarity. The rough, cool surface of the stone threshold near the door, the intricate, delicate weave of the bamboo matting beneath your feet, and the solid, reassuring weight of the wooden table that has been your anchor for the past several hours. Everything is in its place, and because of that, you are in your place. You feel a profound sense of lightness. It is as if the gravity of the world has been switched off, leaving you suspended in a soft, dark space where the only thing that exists is your own steady, rhythmic breathing. You are no longer tethered to the responsibilities of the southern song capital or the complexities of a scholar's life. Those things are artifacts, historical echoes that have been left far behind. What remains is only the immediate, physical comfort of the moment. Your muscles are completely slack, your jaw is loose, and your hands, those hands that earlier today felt so capable and purposeful, are now just resting, soft and open, as if they are letting go of a final, invisible tension. The rain has taken on a hypnotic quality. It is the steady heartbeat of the night, a sound that wraps around the studio like a warm, protective shell. You imagine it falling across the entire landscape of Hangzhou, blanketing the city in a fine mist, silencing the streets, calming the canals, and turning the entire world into a giant, breathing sanctuary. You are a part of that larger, quieter world now. You feel your own heart rate aligning with the rhythm of the raindrops against the eaves, a slow, gentle pulse that is leading you deeper into the interior of your own mind. It is a descent, but not a scary one. It is a long, graceful slide into a deeper level of consciousness where there is no need for thought. In this deep, quiet space, you begin to see images of the garden again, but they are simpler now, more abstract. You see the deep, rich greens of the bamboo leaves glowing in the dark. You see the way the wet stones on the path shine under the faint, diffused moonlight. You see the movement of a single leaf, bowing under the weight of a droplet, then springing back with a slow, deliberate grace. It is a visual lullaby, a repeating cycle of nature that you can follow with your mind as you drift. Each cycle is a moment of rest, a small, perfect unit of peace that you can inhabit for as long as you like. You are moving through the garden in your mind, stepping lightly, feeling the soft dampness of the moss, hearing the muffled, rhythmic world around you. The darkness is not an absence, it is a soft, heavy, and incredibly welcoming presence. It feels like being tucked into a bed of thick velvet moss under a clear, dark sky. You feel safe, protected from the cold, and utterly at peace. You realize that this is what true rest feels like, not just the absence of work, but the absence of the self. You are no longer you in the sense of a person with a history or a future. You are just a part of the quiet, a piece of the night, a whisper of calm in a world that is otherwise chaotic. And that is enough. That is everything. You feel a gentle rising sense of contentment, a warmth that begins at the center of your chest and flows outward, reaching your fingertips and your toes, ensuring that every part of you is ready to surrender to the coming sleep. The last flickering thoughts are like dry leaves caught in a gentle breeze, spinning away into the darkness, losing their shape and meaning until they vanish entirely. There is no more need to hold on to them. There is no more need to construct a narrative or a meaning for the night. You are simply letting go, falling backward into the soft, endless, and deeply restorative dark. The rain will keep guard, the bamboo will keep its vigil, and you will remain here in the heart of the night, perfectly still, perfectly safe, and perfectly ready to drift away into the most peaceful and profound rest you have ever known. The world has faded, leaving only the beautiful, empty, and perfectly silent space where you can finally, truly go to sleep. The atmosphere inside the studio has reached a state of ultimate refinement, a stillness so absolute that it feels like time itself has folded in upon itself. You are resting in a pocket of eternal present. The air, cool and rich with the damp scent of the garden, circulates with a gentle, barely perceptible motion, carrying the last faint whispers of the rain into the corners of the room. You feel your consciousness expanding, moving past the physical boundaries of your body, past the wooden walls of the bamboo studio and out into the vast, silent night. You are no longer tethered to a specific point in time or space. You are a quiet, observant presence, suspended in the heart of a perfectly still world. There is a marvelous sensation of buoyancy, as if the floor beneath you has softened into a cloud of silk. You feel the weight of your own body being supported entirely by the earth, which accepts you with a gentle, grounding embrace. Your hands, once so busy with the tools of the scholar, now lie completely open, palms upward, in a gesture of total surrender. You aren't holding on to the day anymore. You aren't holding on to the stone or the ink or the words you intended to carve. You are simply letting the universe take the weight. The silence of the room is so profound that it hums with a deep subsonic frequency, a vibration that resonates in your chest, reassuring you that all is well, all is quiet, and all is at rest. In this deep, hollowed-out space of the night, you begin to visualize the bamboo grove in a way you never have before. You see it not as individual stalks, but as a single living organism, breathing in the rain and exhaling a soft, rhythmic energy. You see the way the roots are tangled together in the dark, cool earth, a complex network of connection and support that mirrors the way your own mind is currently connecting to the stillness of the night. You feel a sense of belonging to this ecosystem of calm. You are not an outsider here. You are a part of the garden, a part of the rain, a part of the very architecture of this peaceful night. Think of the way a candle flame behaves when there is absolutely no breeze. It stands perfectly still, a golden teardrop-shaped anchor of light in the darkness. That is your mind now. It is fixed, steady, and entirely at peace. There is no flicker of anxiety, no oscillation of thought. It is a single beautiful point of awareness that is slowly dimming, ready to merge with the surrounding dark. The darkness is not threatening, it is a soft, welcoming, and infinitely deep sea. It is the ocean of potential from which all dreams are born, and you are ready to submerge yourself into its depths. You feel the cool, refreshing touch of it against your awareness, inviting you to let go, to sink, to become part of the night. The rhythm of the rain outside has become so ingrained in your senses that it is now the only sound you hear, even in the silence of your mind. It is a steady, gentle cascade of notes, a natural melody that requires no attention, no understanding, and no effort to follow. It is the sound of the world's quiet restoration. You listen as it touches the eaves, as it trickles down the bamboo, as it gathers in the stone basin outside the window. Each sound is a tiny, perfect detail in a vast, beautiful, and completely harmonious landscape. You are perfectly placed within this landscape, cradled by the history of this place, by the comfort of this room, and by the promise of the sleep that is finally, inevitably arriving. Everything is fading now. The sharp details of the desk, the silhouette of the tools, the color of the walls, they are all losing their form, melting away into the warm, protective embrace of the dark. You are moving beyond the need for sight, beyond the need for definition. You are entering the realm of pure feeling where everything is soft, everything is safe, and everything is waiting to be forgotten. You are drifting, drifting, drifting into that final beautiful silence where the world stops its turning and you finally close your eyes to the day. The night has you, the peace has you, and the dream is waiting just beneath the surface, soft and inviting, ready to carry you into the deepest, most restorative sleep you have ever known. The studio has settled into a state of profound, resonant quiet that feels as heavy and comforting as a winter quilt. You are drifting in the center of this silence, a small, peaceful island in the middle of a vast, dark, and tranquil sea. The air around you is so still that it feels like a physical presence, a cool and refreshing weight that brushes against your skin, grounding you in this very moment. If you have found solace in this midnight journey to the heart of the Southern Song, we invite you to subscribe, allowing us to keep this sanctuary open for your return whenever you need to quiet the noise of the world. Your support is the thread that keeps these stories woven together, and we are honored to have you here with us in the deep, shared peace of the studio. Your consciousness is now a gentle tide, rising and falling with the rhythm of the rain against the roof. You feel your heartbeat slowing, a steady, rhythmic thrumming that is perfectly synchronized with the soft, pattering melody outside. There is no urgency in your lungs, no effort in your limbs. You are entirely surrendered to the gravity of the room, feeling your body sink deeper and deeper into the support of your seat. It is as if you are being slowly reclaimed by the earth, returned to a state of primal, unthinking rest. The tension that once held your shoulders tight or clouded your mind has completely evaporated, replaced by a sense of airy, weightless ease. You visualize the garden one final time, but the details are now soft, painterly, and dreamlike. You see the bamboo swaying in slow motion, a fluid dance of dark green shapes against the charcoal sky. You feel the coolness of the moss beneath your feet, not as a physical sensation, but as a deep, intuitive sense of softness and comfort. Everything in the garden is at peace, and because you're a part of the garden, you are at peace as well. The boundaries of your identity are blurring. You are not just a person in a room. You are the room, the rain, the cool air, and the silent, dark earth beneath the foundation. Think of the way a deep, still pool reflects the moonlight when all the ripples have finally died away. That is your mind now. The surface is unbroken, clear, and perfectly still. The thoughts that once occupied your day are gone, like ripples that have reached the shore and vanished. There is no more need to reflect, no more need to plan, no more need to interpret. You are simply experiencing the stillness, a state of grace that is entirely effortless. You are content to remain here, suspended in this quiet, for as long as the night lasts. The darkness is now your only surrounding. A soft velvet curtain that has been pulled shut over the day. It is an incredibly welcoming darkness, warm, safe, and filled with the promise of rest. You feel yourself drifting closer to the edge, where the waking world meets the dream world. It is a soft, blurring threshold, and you're ready to cross it. You are not afraid to let go. In fact, you are eager to, as if you have been holding your breath for a long, long time and are finally ready to exhale. Everything you have experienced tonight, the carving, the scent of the sandalwood, the rhythm of the rain, the silence of the studio, has been a path leading you exactly here. You have arrived at the destination. The work is finished, the tools are put away, the lamp is dimmed, and the night is yours to inhabit. There is nothing left to do but drift. Sink into the dark. Let the rain wash away the last remnants of your wakefulness and allow yourself to slip, slowly and gracefully, into the deep, restorative and infinite peace of your own dreams. You are held, you are safe, and you are ready to sleep. The sanctuary of the bamboo studio now exists in a space beyond measurement, a hidden fold in the fabric of time, where the night has paused its forward march. You feel as though you are floating, untethered from the concerns of the waking world, resting in a pocket of pure, unadulterated stillness. The air within the room is cool and crisp, yet it carries the lingering, comforting warmth of the charcoal brazier, a gentle heat that radiates into your core and ensures your body remains completely relaxed. Every corner of this space is bathed in a soft, monochromatic shade of charcoal and deep, muted shadow, creating a visual environment that is as restful to your eyes as it is to your spirit. Your breathing is now so slow and shallow that it mimics the gentle rhythmic swaying of the bamboo outside the sliding panels. You are no longer consciously controlling your breath. It has become an automatic, involuntary pulse, a natural expansion and contraction that feels like the slow, steady rise and fall of the tide against a dark, silent shore. This is the rhythm of your own inner peace, a heartbeat that is finally perfectly aligned with the silence of the night. You feel a profound sense of integration, as if your own physical presence has softened, blending seamlessly into the wooden architecture and the damp, earthy air of the room. Imagine that you are lying on a bed of cool, clean silk, suspended in the center of this quietude. There is no resistance, no friction, no desire to move or change your position. The floor beneath you, though made of solid timber, feels soft and yielding, as if it is cradling you in a perfect, custom-fit embrace. The shadows on the wall, the silhouettes of the hanging scrolls, and the elegant curve of the brush stand have become abstract shapes devoid of meaning, acting only as dark, comforting markers in the vast space of your relaxation. You are observing these shapes with a detached, sleepy fascination, feeling them grow fuzzier, softer, and more indistinct with every passing second. The memory of the day is now like a book that has been closed and placed on a shelf. The stories within it, the tasks, the conversations, the complexities of the Southern Song dynasty are irrelevant now. They belong to a world that you have successfully left behind, a world that exists on the other side of a thick, impenetrable wall. Here, there is only the present, and the present is defined by the absence of demand. You are not required to be anything, to know anything, or to do anything. You are simply allowed to exist in this vacuum of calm, a state of being that is as refreshing and vital as the rain that continues its relentless, soothing rhythm against the roof. You find your mind focusing on the sound of the rain once more, but it is no longer a sound, it is a texture. It feels like a soft silver rain falling directly onto your consciousness, washing away the last traces of your day. Each drop is a release of tension, a softening of a muscle, a calming of a nerve. You feel your eyelids becoming heavy, not with fatigue, but with a delicious, heavy and welcoming languor. It is a weight that you are eager to accept, a physical manifestation of the surrender that is taking place in your mind. You are letting go of your hold on the world, one finger at a time, until you are barely attached to reality at all. There is a sense of mystery in this darkness, a secret quality that makes you feel as though you are the only person left in the world. It is not a lonely feeling, but a deeply privileged one, the experience of solitude in its most perfect, refined form. You are the sole inhabitant of this moment, the witness to the night's own silent, private existence. This feeling of exclusivity, of having found your way into the very center of the night, gives you a final, profound sense of security. You are safe, you are hidden, you are perfectly placed to fall into the deep, dark, and wonderful abyss of sleep. everything you have been, everything you have felt today is being folded up and tucked away, leaving you as a blank white page, ready for the dream-filled darkness to fill you with rest. The stillness within the bamboo studio has reached a depth that feels ancient, as if this room has been holding its breath for centuries, waiting for this exact moment of quiet to arrive. You are cocooned in this history, a silent participant in a tradition of rest that spans back through generations of scholars, poets, and dreamers who all once sat where you are sitting. The air feels thick and rich with the memory of that peace, a tangible substance that you can almost taste, a blend of cool night air, the final faint essence of sandalwood, and the damp, earthy aroma of the garden thriving in the rain. You are perfectly placed within this continuity, a quiet soul finding refuge in the same silence that has comforted so many others before you. Your physical form is now a minor detail, a soft, heavy weight that is slowly dissolving into the environment around you. The chair you are sitting on is no longer a separate object. It has become an extension of your body, a firm, supportive foundation that you trust completely. You feel your spine lengthening, not through effort, but through the natural, total release of all tension. Your legs, once restless, are now grounded, the soles of your feet feeling the subtle, cool connection to the floorboards. Everything is settling, everything is descending, everything is moving toward a center point of absolute rest. Visualize the garden outside one last time, not as a place you're looking at, but as a place you're inhabiting. You are the bamboo leaf, shivering under the light, steady rain. You are the mossy stone, absorbing the moisture and growing darker and more vibrant in the dampness. You are the silence between the raindrops. This expansion of your consciousness into the landscape brings a sense of liberation. You are no longer confined by the walls of the studio. You are part of the vast, quiet, rain-washed world. The scale of your existence has shifted, and with it, the scale of your problems. They are tiny, temporary things, barely visible against the infinite calm backdrop of the night. Think of the sound of the rain as a language you have finally learned to understand. It is not speaking in words, it is speaking in states of being. It says steady, it says persistent, it says clean, it says home. Every drop that strikes the roof is a confirmation that you are safe, that the world is being cared for, and that your own restoration is happening whether you participate in it or not. You are being washed, you are being refreshed, and you are being lulled by a force that is far older and far more reliable than your own busy mind. This realization brings a final quiet smile to your face, a subtle softening of your features that signals the last stage of your surrender. The darkness has become so complete that even your thoughts are turning into shadows. They are soft, indistinct, and unhurried. You watch them drift away like wisps of smoke in a windless room. You don't have to chase them, you don't have to categorize them. You are simply letting the night do its work. The boundary between the room and your mind has vanished. You are sitting in the dark, and the dark is sitting inside of you. There is no separation, no conflict, no dissonance. Only a deep, resonant harmony that is leading you straight down into the velvet, welcoming arms of deep sleep. You are now hovering just above the surface of a dreamless, infinite slumber. It is a place of total silence, a space where time does not exist, and where the demands of the world are completely unknown. You have earned this place, you have worked through the day, you have honored the tradition of the scholar, and you have finally truly let go of the burden of your own self. There is nothing left to do, the night is doing everything for you. Sink into it. Let the rhythm of the rain be the last thing you know, and let the peace of the studio be the first thing you feel when you wake. The night is vast, you're safe, and the sleep is here, calling you into its soft, endless, and deeply restorative dark. The studio has transformed into a sanctuary of absolute shadow where the dim outlines of the furniture have merged with the darkness to create a singular, restful void. You feel yourself sinking into this void, not as if you are falling, but as if you are being gently absorbed by the very atmosphere of the room. The air is cool, still, and impossibly quiet, holding you in a state of suspended animation. You can no longer distinguish between your own breathing and the soft, distant murmur of the rain. They have become one and the same, a unified rhythm that governs the entire space. This is the ultimate, final surrender. a total dissolution of the self into the quiet, dark, and deeply restorative environment that has been carefully prepared for you. You find that your awareness is no longer focused on any specific point. It is broad, diffuse, and incredibly calm. You are like a vast flat mirror resting on a silent lake, reflecting only the darkness of the night. There is no desire, no memory, no anticipation. You have effectively stepped outside of the stream of time, standing on the bank and watching the current flow past you, unconcerned with where it goes or what it carries. This is a rare and profound state of detachment, a freedom that is only found in the deepest, quietest hours of the night. It is a gift you have given yourself, a space you have built with your patience and your focus, and now you are simply living inside of it. Think of the way a deep forest feels in the middle of the night, dark, cool, protected, and full of a secret, ancient life that asks for nothing from you. That is your studio now. You are hidden in the heart of this forest, shielded by the walls, the bamboo, and the heavy, blanket-like dampness of the evening. The outside world, with its noise and its demands, is millions of miles away. It no longer has any claim on your attention. Your only remaining task is to allow your body to continue its slow, graceful descent into the depths of sleep. Every muscle is already gone, every nerve is calm, and your mind is an empty, beautiful space, ready for the dream-filled night to take hold. You are moving through a layer of reality that is increasingly soft and fluid. The rigid structures of your consciousness are melting away, replaced by a sense of infinite, gentle space. You feel as though you're expanding, becoming a part of the walls, a part of the rain, a part of the very shadows that define the room. This expansion is comforting and profound. It is the end of the feeling of being one person and the beginning of the feeling of being all of this. You are not lonely. You are connected. You are supported by the entirety of the night, cradled by the history of the studio, and held in the timeless, universal grasp of sleep. There is a final, sweet heaviness in your eyelids that feels like the ultimate relief. It is not an effort to keep them closed, it is a labor to open them. You wouldn't think of doing so. Everything you need is already here, within this perfect dark interior. You feel a gentle rising pulse of contentment, a warm golden glow that begins in the center of your soul and radiates outward, touching every part of your being. This is the signature of true peace. It is the feeling of coming home to a place you have never left, a return to the quiet, dark heart of existence where everything is forgiven and everything is forgotten. The sound of the rain is now so quiet, so subtle, that it is almost like a secret being whispered directly into your consciousness. It is a lullaby of water and earth, a sound that has been playing since the beginning of time to ensure that all of creation finds its rest. You are listening to the heartbeat of the world, and you're letting that heartbeat guide you down further and further into the deepest, softest, and most welcoming dark you have ever known. There is no more room for thoughts, no more room for images, no more room for the self. There is only the rain, the night, and the beautiful, endless, and deeply restorative sleep that is finally, fully yours to embrace. The studio feels like a space suspended in a dream, existing only because you have allowed it to anchor your awareness. The air has cooled further, carrying with it the crisp, clean scent of rain-drenched soil and the very faint, lingering note of crushed bamboo. You are completely still, your body having reached that rare, blissful state where weight is merely a concept you no longer subscribe to. The chair you inhabit is no longer an object of wood and joinery. It is a soft, supportive cradle that has been waiting for this moment of total surrender. You feel the floor beneath you as a stable, comforting presence, a firm foundation that connects you to the earth, ensuring that even as your mind drifts into the infinite, you remain grounded, safe, and entirely secure. Every small sound within the room, the tiny, irregular settling of the floorboards, the nearly silent, soft friction of your own robes, the distant, muffled cadence of the rain, is a thread in the tapestry of your relaxation. You aren't listening to these things, you're observing them as they pass through the quiet, without any need to react or understand. They are just the natural, gentle music of the night. You find that your consciousness is becoming increasingly translucent. The complex, layered structure of your thoughts is peeling away, revealing a core that is simple, clean, and utterly peaceful. You are returning to a state of being that is as uncomplicated as a stone at the bottom of a pond or a leaf resting on the moss. Think of the garden in the deepest part of the night, when the rain has slowed to a fine silver mist. You can imagine the way the moonlight, despite the heavy clouds, manages to find the surface of the basin, creating a soft, ethereal luminescence that makes the entire garden look like a painting on a silk fan. You are that garden. You have the same capacity to hold the night, the same ability to be touched by the rain, and yet remain unmoved in your stillness. The peace you feel is not a temporary reprieve, it is your true nature, a quiet, deep, and ever-present reality that has been covered up by the noise of the day but is now finally clearly visible. Your breathing has become so rhythmic and deep that it feels as if the room itself is expanding and contracting with you. Each inhalation brings in the cool, restorative quiet, and each exhalation releases any remaining residue of the day. There is no effort involved. It is an entirely natural, automatic process, a graceful dance between your spirit and the atmosphere. You feel your muscles, the ones in your jaw, your forehead, your shoulders, melting into the dark. They are becoming soft, pliable, and utterly without tension. You are a sculpture made of warmth and quiet, resting in the safety of a room that has forgotten the passage of time. There is a beautiful velvet darkness that fills the corners of your vision, a color that is so deep it feels like you could reach out and touch it. This darkness is your shelter. It is not an absence of anything, but the presence of everything that is soft, healing, and silent. You are submerging yourself in it, layer by layer, feeling the warmth of your own body being gently held by the cool embrace of the room. It is a perfect, balanced environment, designed for the singular purpose of your rest. You feel a final deep sigh of contentment emanate from your chest, a signal to your body that it is time to relinquish the last tether to the waking world. The transition is now almost complete. The boundaries between yourself and the night have dissolved entirely. You are not a person sitting in a studio in 1180. You are the studio, you are the night, and you are the stillness itself. The dream is no longer a destination, it is the space you are already in, a limitless, dark, and perfectly silent expanse where you can exist without form, without history, and without expectation. The rain continues its steady, rhythmic promise of safety, and as the last of your focus drifts away like a paper boat on a dark river, you find yourself finally truly in the deepest part of sleep, where everything is quiet, everything is safe, and everything is at peace. The air within the studio has taken on a heavy velvet quality, as if the silence itself has a weight that is pressing down in the most soothing, nurturing way possible. You are centered in the very middle of this quiet, a point of stillness around which the rest of the world has ceased to revolve. The cooling air of the night flows through the room, a gentle, unseen current that carries away any lingering warmth from your body, leaving you feeling light, airy, and profoundly clear. It is a cleansing sensation, as if the night is scrubbing your consciousness clean of every complication, every memory, and every flicker of doubt that might have followed you here. You find yourself in a state of total blissful suspension. Your physical body is anchored to the wooden chair, yet your spirit feels vast and unconfined, drifting through the darkened rafters of the studio like mist through a forest. You are witnessing your own transition from the active, creative mindset of the day into the passive, receptive surrender of the night. It is a slow, methodical process, a gradual dimming of the inner light until only the soft, ambient glow of your own calm remains. The tools of your craft, the stone, the iron knife, the ink, are resting on the desk, artifacts of a world that is now irrelevant. You have no more use for them. Your work is done. Your purpose is now simply to exist, to breathe, and to sleep. Visualize the garden but lose the details. It is no longer about the bamboo, the stones, or the rain. It is simply a texture of dark, cool green, a shape that exists in your mind as a representation of peace. You are holding this shape in your consciousness, and it is acting as a gentle, rhythmic guide. Every time you think of it, you feel your muscles relax even further. Your fingers are no longer curled, they are limp. Your breath is no longer rhythmic, it is just a quiet, continuous flow. You are sinking deeper into the darkness. the darkness that is no longer outside of you but has become the very medium in which you are floating. Think of the way an ancient deep-sea creature moves through the darkest, coldest, most pressure-filled part of the ocean. It does so with perfect, effortless grace. That is your path now. You are moving through the depths of your own subconscious, completely supported, completely safe, and entirely at home. The pressure of the world above, the noise, the hurry, the need to achieve, it cannot reach you here. You have gone too deep. You have found a refuge that is entirely your own. A silent, dark, and perfectly curated space where you can finally be yourself without the need to be anything for anyone else. The sound of the rain is now a distant, nearly forgotten echo, though it is still present. It is the backdrop against which your rest is being framed. It is a sound that has moved from the realm of the audible into the realm of the physical. You can feel it in the air, in the floor, in the very walls of the studio. It is a pulse, a slow, steady, and infinite pulse that is keeping time with your own eventual return to the waking world, though that feels like an eternity away. You are resting in the grace of this moment, letting the darkness wash over you, letting the silence fill the empty spaces within your chest until you're brimming with a sense of quiet, total wholeness. This is the final stage of your journey for the night. You are balanced on the very lip of sleep, looking down into the soft, inviting shadows of the dream world. There is no need to jump, you will simply be drawn into it, like a leaf pulled into the gentle swirling eddy of a stream. You feel the coolness of the sheets in your dream, the softness of the air, the absolute safety of the shelter you have built. Everything is ready, the night is perfectly still, your mind is perfectly calm, and you are ready to slip away. Let the darkness take you, let the silence hold you, and let the rest you have earned carry you into the deep, dark, and perfectly peaceful landscape of your dreams. The studio has settled into a state of existence that feels like it has been removed from the flow of history entirely. You are sitting in the heart of this silence, a witness to a world that has stopped its turning just for you. The temperature in the room is perfectly matched to your own resting body. A cool, refreshing equilibrium that makes every breath feel like a deep, clean draught of mountain air. The darkness is no longer something you see, it is something you inhabit, a thick, comfortable substance that flows through the rafters and settles in the corners of the room like a soft, invisible blanket. You feel yourself dissolving into this darkness, losing the sharp, defined edges of your own body until you are just a point of awareness resting in the center of a perfectly dark, perfectly still, and perfectly safe universe. Your thoughts are no longer linear. They have become circular, gentle ripples in the vast, still pond of your mind. They don't arrive with any urgency or demand. They just appear, float for a second, and then fade away, replaced by a quiet, steady flow of peace. There is no need for logic, no need for structure, and no need for meaning. You are simply existing in the moment, a state of grace that requires nothing from you. You feel your heartbeat slowing down, finding a new lower tempo that seems to resonate with the very foundation of the building. It is a slow, rhythmic thud that is as reliable and comforting as the passage of the stars in the night sky. Think of the way a heavy, ancient curtain falls in a silent room. That is the feeling of your eyelids now. They are heavy with the weight of the day's work, a physical manifestation of the satisfaction that comes from having created something beautiful and then choosing to let it be. The seal, the calligraphy, the effort, they have all served their purpose. They have brought you here to this exact precious moment of rest. You feel a sense of profound, quiet accomplishment. You are a person who has earned their sleep, and the sleep is waiting for you with an open, dark, and wonderfully forgiving embrace. Visualize the garden as it exists in the dead of the night, a monochromatic world of deep, dark charcoal and liquid silver. The bamboo has ceased its swaying, it stands straight and still, a silent guardian of your studio. The rain has become so light, so fine, that it is barely more than a soft, damp kiss upon the leaves. The entire world is holding its breath, waiting for the dawn. But you are not waiting. You are already in the depths of the night where the dawn has no meaning. You are floating in the stillness, a solitary, quiet soul wrapped in the protection of a history that loves you and wants you to be at peace. There is a sense of finality in this relaxation, a beautiful, conclusive feeling that everything that needed to be done has been done. You are like a traveler who has reached the end of a long, dusty road and has finally arrived at the warm, firelit hearth of an inn. You have set down your pack, you have taken off your shoes, and you're ready to sink into the quiet, dark, and perfectly soft comfort of your bed. The journey was long, the work was hard, but the rest is absolute. You feel a deep, resonant hum of peace filling your entire frame, from the tips of your toes to the very back of your mind, ensuring that every part of you is ready to surrender to the coming void. You are drifting further now into the spaces where the dreams are beginning to form, soft, impressionistic flashes of light, gentle, impossible colors, and the feeling of floating on a current of warm water. You don't have to navigate this space. You are being guided by the rhythm of the night. The rain, the silence, the dark, and the very air of the studio are all working together to ensure that your drift is smooth, gentle, and utterly uninterrupted. You are finally completely at home in the dark. Sleep is wrapping around you now, a soft, heavy, and infinite blanket of stillness, and you are ready, at long last, to let the world disappear and to simply peacefully drift away into the deepest, most quiet sleep of your life. The atmosphere within your bamboo sanctuary has condensed into a state of pure liquid peace. You are no longer just sitting in the studio, you are part of the very architecture of the night, a silent, unmoving presence in a room that has forgotten the passage of time. The air feels cool and clean against your skin, like the scent of wet stone and mountain mist, wrapping you in a cocoon of quiet that is both protective and incredibly heavy. Your limbs have completely surrendered to gravity, feeling as though they have melded with the dark, polished surface of the seat you occupy. Every breath is a slow, luxurious release of energy, a gentle letting go that allows you to sink deeper into the foundational silence of the building. If you have felt the heavy, comforting weight of this history lifting your spirits and quieting your mind, please consider subscribing. Your presence is the heartbeat of this quiet space, and joining our community ensures that whenever you need to find this specific deep peace, our studio doors will be open and waiting for you. You are drifting through the consciousness of the night, observing the way the shadows in the rafters seem to breathe. They expand and contract with your own slow, steady rhythm, as if the room itself is mirroring your inner state. You find that your mind has ceased its chatter. The relentless background noise of the day has been replaced by a smooth, dark, and endless stillness. It is like being at the bottom of a deep well where the surface commotion cannot reach you, and where the world is reduced to the coolness of the water and the absolute perfect comfort of the dark. You are entirely alone, yet you feel profoundly connected to the world, because the world is now quiet and you are quiet with it. Visualize the garden as a memory you are stepping into, a place of deep emerald green and cool, damp grey. The bamboo leaves are resting, their long, slender forms glistening with the final tiny droplets of the night's rain. You can imagine the way the air smells there, rich with the scent of damp moss, wet soil, and the clean mineral aroma of the rain-washed stones. You are walking along the narrow path, your movements fluid and weightless, and with every step you feel the tension of the world draining out through the soles of your feet. You are arriving at a place of total rest, a destination you have been moving toward all day. Think of the way a heavy velvet cloth covers a table, silencing every sound. That is the feeling in your mind right now. Every thought is softened, every memory is blurred, and every plan is forgotten. You are living in a moment of pure, unadulterated now, and the now is perfectly safe. You feel a warmth spreading through your chest, a gentle golden glow that mirrors the dying embers of the brazier. This is the feeling of coming home to your own spirit, a place where you don't have to perform, where you don't have to be anything, and where you are perfectly enough just as you are. The darkness is now so deep that it feels like you're floating in a vast, infinite ocean of ink. It is not an empty space, it is full of potential, full of the rest you have been craving, and full of the dreams that are waiting to unfold. You are submerging into this ocean, feeling the cool, dark water press against your awareness, gently encouraging you to let go of the last few anchors you're holding on to. Your hands are open, Your jaw is soft and your eyes are resting comfortably, closed against the world of light. You are ready. The studio has done its work, the silence has done its work, the rain has done its work. You are falling, finally, into the deepest part of the night. It is a soft, graceful fall, a descent into the dark that feels like drifting onto the most comfortable, supportive, and perfectly silent bed imaginable. You are being held by the history of this studio, by the peace of the garden, and by the sheer, overwhelming beauty of the quiet. Let the world vanish. Let the day be a dream that is slowly fading from memory. Let yourself be carried away by the gentle, dark current of sleep, down into the places where the quiet is absolute, and where you can finally, truly, and completely rest. The studio has become a monument to silence, a sanctuary where even the air feels as though it has been stilled by some invisible ancient hand. You are floating within this space, your awareness having retracted from the external world to dwell exclusively in the soft, dark interior of your own mind. The cool, damp scent of the garden has permeated the room, acting as a natural balm for your senses, slowing everything down until you are living in a rhythm that defies the rapid pulse of the waking world. You feel the weight of your body pressing into the chair, not as a source of discomfort, but as a reassuring anchor, a reminder that you are safely held by the physical reality of this room. The bamboo walls, with their intricate, hand-woven textures, seem to emanate a protective warmth, enclosing you in a cocoon of safety that shuts out the vast, chaotic night beyond. Your consciousness has become like a candle flame in a draughtless hall, perfectly vertical, steady, and radiant, casting a soft golden light into the surrounding shadows. There is no tremor, no flicker of doubt, and no need to move. You are observing your own stillness with a detached, sleepy wonder. You see your hands resting in your lap, fingers slightly curled, motionless as carved wood. You feel the steady, slow movement of your chest as you breathe, each inhalation a deep, silent intake of peace, each exhalation a long, soft release of whatever residue remained of your busy day. This is the art of existence, practiced in the quietest, most private hours of the night, and you are currently its master. Imagine the garden now as a place of absolute monochromatic beauty, painted in shades of deep indigo and charcoal. The rain has stopped entirely, leaving the world in a state of suspended moisture. Every surface is glistening, the stone steps, the curved bridge, the broad waxy leaves of the banana trees, all reflecting the faint diffused light of the hidden moon. You are walking through this garden in your mind, your steps making no sound on the damp, moss-covered earth. You are not a visitor. You are a part of the garden's silent, nocturnal symphony. You feel the cool air against your skin, the smell of damp earth filling your lungs, and the immense, comforting solitude that surrounds you. There is no one else here, and that is a relief. You are alone with your own potential for rest. Think of the way a deep, still lake reflects the stars on a clear night. Your mind has become that lake. It is so perfectly calm, so undisturbed by even the smallest gust of wind, that it holds the vastness of the cosmos within its surface. You are watching the reflection, feeling the deep, resonant calm of the universe as it mirrors your own internal state. You are not trying to capture the stars, you are simply allowing them to exist within you. This is the power of surrender, the ability to let the world in, to let the peace settle, and to remain fundamentally, essentially still. You feel a profound, soul-deep sense of belonging, a realization that you are exactly where you're meant to be. The darkness is no longer a void, it is a presence, a friendly, familiar companion that has been waiting for you all evening. It is a soft, heavy velvet darkness that wraps around your senses, encouraging them to withdraw, to close, and to sleep. You feel the boundaries of your body thinning, the distinction between you and the room becoming increasingly blurred. You are the shadow, you are the cool air, you are the silent, sturdy wooden beam, and you are the quiet, rhythmic pulse of the night. You have reached a state of integration that is perfectly, beautifully complete. There is nothing left to separate you from the stillness. You are now tipping over the final gentle edge of consciousness. It is a slow downward drift like a snowflake settling onto a pile of fresh, soft snow. You are not afraid, you are completely, totally ready. The world of form and shadow is being left behind, replaced by the soft, formless landscape of the dream world. The last faint sounds of the night are dying away, and in their place is the deep, resonant, and perfect silence of a truly restorative sleep. You are held, you are safe, and you are drifting further and further into the dark, welcoming sea of rest, where the quiet is infinite, where the peace is absolute, and where you can finally, truly, and profoundly sleep. The studio is now a sanctuary of absolute crystalline stillness, a vessel of quietude floating in the vast, dark ocean of the night. You are settled into the very core of this silence, a place where time has lost its meaning and the external world is nothing more than a faint, distant memory. The air in the room has grown cool and incredibly crisp, carrying the scent of damp bamboo and the clean, mineral essence of stone, a combination that acts like a sedative, softening the sharpness of your awareness. You feel as though you are suspended in a weightless environment, supported by the solid wooden structure of the studio as if by the earth itself. Every sense is tuned to the internal rhythm of the room, a slow, steady pulse that mirrors the calming, natural cycles of the deep night. Your physical form has reached a level of relaxation that borders on the ethereal. The chair you occupy has become an extension of your own frame, offering a seamless, unwavering support that allows you to release every last ounce of holding. Your hands, resting lightly upon your lap, are completely limp, fingers slightly curved in a gesture of unconscious peace. Your breath is no longer something you observe, it is something you simply are, a soft, rhythmic ebb and flow, like a tide turning on a dark, hidden beach. This is the ultimate state of being, where effort is an impossibility, and the only requirement is to witness the quiet unfold. You feel a profound, soul-deep comfort, a sense of having arrived at a place that has been waiting for you, a space where all debts are paid and all duties are finished. Visualize the garden as it exists in this final, deepest watch of the night. It is a world of shadow and muted reflection, where the only movement is the slow, deliberate drip of dew from a bamboo leaf into the stone basin below. Drip, a pause, drip. Each sound is a marker of the extreme stillness, a note of quiet beauty that reaffirms the peace of the environment. You are watching this scene in your mind's eye, your vision unfocused, letting the dark greens and the deep, ink-like shadows wash over your consciousness. There is no urgency to interpret, no need to define. There is only the garden, the dew, the stone, and you. You are part of this ecosystem of calm, a silent observer whose presence is as unobtrusive as a shadow on the wall. Think of the way a deep, still pool of water absorbs the darkness of the sky. Your mind has become that pool, so perfectly tranquil that it holds the vastness of the universe in its clarity. There are no ripples, no agitation, no restless thoughts to break the surface. Everything that happened today, the decisions made, the conversations held, the ambitions pursued, has settled to the bottom like fine silt, leaving the water clear and deep. You are resting in this clarity, feeling the coolness, feeling the depth, feeling the absolute unblemished perfection of the present moment. It is a rare and precious state of grace, a quietude that belongs to you alone, hidden away in this forgotten corner of the Song dynasty. The darkness has transformed from a mere condition of the night into a living, breathing entity that holds you in its embrace. It is a soft, velvety texture, something you can feel against your skin, something that tucks you in and protects you from the cold. You are letting yourself drift into this darkness, feeling the edges of your identity soften and dissipate. You are no longer the scholar, the worker, or the dreamer. You are simply an inhabitant of the quiet. The separation between you and the room is dissolving. You are becoming the bamboo, the wood, the scent of the sandalwood, and the very darkness that fills the studio. It is a relief, such a profound and final relief, to know that you can simply merge with the peace and let go of the need to be a separate individual entity for a while. You are balanced on the threshold, the final soft barrier between the waking state and the infinite dream-filled landscape of deep sleep. It is a place of total safety, a border you are crossing with ease and gratitude. The world is receding, becoming smaller, quieter, and further away, until it is just a distant, fading echo. In its place, the silence is growing, expanding to fill every thought, every memory, every corner of your being. You are held by the history of the studio, by the rhythmic, cool pulse of the night, and by the promise of the restorative sleep that is now entirely yours. Surrender to it. Let the dark carry you deeper than you have ever gone before, and know that you are safe, you are home, and you are ready to drift into the deep, dark, and beautiful sleep of the night. The studio has become a threshold of infinite quiet, a place where the boundaries between the physical world and the world of dreams have thinned until they are virtually transparent. You are suspended in this soft, permeable state, feeling as though you are floating in the cool, dark currents of a subterranean river. The air, enriched with the subtle, lingering scent of ancient cedar and the damp memory of rain, is a balm to your lungs, making every breath an act of profound restoration. There is no longer a distinction between your own physical form and the environment around you. You have become one with the room, one with the stillness, and one with the very fabric of the night. The wooden walls, seasoned by time and silence, radiate a sense of deep, protective permanence that anchors your consciousness even as it begins its final, graceful descent into the depths of slumber. Your mind is a vast, darkened mirror, undisturbed by any ripples of thought or flickers of memory. The frantic, hurried pace of the day has been completely eclipsed by the slow, majestic pace of the midnight hour. You observe your own existence as if from a great distance, watching your limbs grow heavy and limp, your muscles uncoil from the tension of the previous hours, and your spirit settle into a posture of complete, unapologetic surrender. This is the ultimate luxury, the ability to let go, to relinquish the helm, and to trust that the night is more than capable of guiding you safely through the silence. You feel the weight of your body pressing into the seat, a solid, immutable fact that serves as your final comforting connection to the waking world before you let that connection drift away entirely. Imagine the garden now as an abstract dreamscape, a place of deep, fluid indigo shadows and soft silver highlights. The bamboo, standing as tall, silent sentinels, sway with a slow, hypnotic rhythm, not because of the wind, but as if they are dancing to a melody that only the night can hear. The stone basin is a pool of black glass, reflecting the faint, distant stars that you know are burning far above the cloud layer. You are walking along the edge of this pool in your imagination, feeling the cool moisture on the moss beneath your feet, hearing the absolute absence of sound, and feeling the immense, crushing beauty of being entirely alone in the darkness. You are not lonely, you are centered, you are complete. Think of the way a deep, velvet curtain is drawn across a stage after the performance is finished. That is the feeling in your mind right now, the final closing movement of the day. The play of your responsibilities, your efforts, and your interactions is over. The lights have dimmed, the audience has gone, and you are left in the beautiful empty silence of the theatre, free to simply sit and exist in the dark. It is a profound, soul-deep relief. You have played your part, and you have played it well, but now the mask can be removed. The performance is over, and the time for rest has arrived. You feel a sense of profound, quiet accomplishment, a weightlessness that settles into your chest and prepares you for the journey into the void. The darkness is now your only companion, and it is a companion you trust completely. It is not an empty, hollow darkness, but a thick, warm, and deeply nourishing medium that wraps around your senses and encourages them to retreat. You are feeling the last faint traces of your awareness slipping away, like fine sand through an hourglass. You do not try to catch them. You do not try to stop the process. You are welcoming it. You are embracing the inevitable, beautiful slide into the unknown. The room, the desk, the brush, the scroll, they are all fading, turning into soft, indistinct shapes that don't require your attention, and soon they will be gone entirely, leaving only the dark and the peace you have found within it. You are now hovering just above the surface of a deep, dream-filled slumber. It is a place of absolute stillness, a space where time has no meaning and where the demands of the world cannot enter. You have reached the final goal, the deepest point of the quietude you have been seeking. Everything is as it should be. The world is at peace. The night is guarding your rest, and you are ready to let the last flickering light of wakefulness go out. Sink into the silence. Let the darkness fold over you like a gentle tide, washing away every remaining worry, every remaining thought, and every remaining trace of the self. You are safe, you are held, you are drifting into the deepest, most restorative sleep of your entire life. The studio has become a sanctuary of such profound silence that you can hear the very rhythm of the night itself. It is a slow, pulsing beat, a subterranean hum that resonates through the floorboards and vibrates gently against your skin. You are cradled in the heart of this quiet, a point of total stillness in a world that has finally ceased its restless turning. The air is cool and impossibly clean, carrying the faint sweet essence of damp cedar and the ancient earthy memory of rain long since passed into the soil. You are no longer merely sitting in this room, you are an essential part of its stillness, a soft, unmoving presence integrated into the very architecture of the dark. The walls around you feel like a warm, protective shell, guarding you from the vast, empty reaches of the night, and you find that you have no desire to leave this secure interior world. Your consciousness has become like a soft, diffused light, spreading across the room and filling the corners, turning the shadows into blankets. You feel the chair supporting your weight with a firm, unchanging grace, a structure that holds you as if you were a precious, fragile thing. Your muscles, every single fiber and sinew, have completely relinquished their hold on the day. Your jaw is loose, your shoulders are dropped and heavy, and your hands are resting in your lap, completely empty and utterly relaxed. There is a delicious, heavy languor that has settled over your entire body, a feeling of being pulled downward by a gentle, irresistible gravity that is guiding you toward the deepest, most restorative layer of the night. Visualize the garden one last time, not as a place of color, but as a place of texture and shadow. The moss is a soft, deep velvet, the stones are cool, smooth, and unchanging. The bamboo is a network of dark, fluid lines that reach up toward the invisible sky. You are walking through this garden in your mind, your steps silent and deliberate, feeling the cool, damp air on your face and the immense, overwhelming calm that settles into your spirit. You are moving toward the center of the garden, where a stone basin holds the reflection of the universe. You look into that water, and you see only the quiet, the darkness, and your own reflection fading slowly into the rippleless, perfect surface of the night. Think of the way a heavy velvet curtain is pulled across a window, shutting out the world. That is your mind now. The curtain is closed, and behind it there is only the soft, ambient glow of your own resting spirit. There is no need for external validation, no need to be seen, no need to speak or to think. You are alone in the best way possible, in a way that feels like returning to a home you have never left. The silence is a companion, a friend that understands your need for rest and is providing exactly the environment you require to find it. You feel a gentle, rising sense of contentment, a warmth that flows from your chest through your limbs and into your very soul, anchoring you in this perfect, quiet place. The darkness is no longer a void, it is a soft, deep, and infinitely welcoming sea. You are submerging yourself in it, layer by layer, feeling the warmth of your own body being gently held by the cool, comforting embrace of the room. It is a balanced, perfect environment, designed for the singular purpose of your restoration. You feel a final, deep sigh of contentment emanate from your heart, a sign to your mind that it is time to relinquish the last tether to the waking world. You are not losing consciousness, you are expanding it. You are moving from the narrow, rigid focus of the day into the wide, fluid, and limitless expanse of the dream world. Everything you have experienced today, the labor, the art, the thought, the quiet, has been a path leading you exactly here. You have arrived at the destination, the work is finished, the tools are put away, the lamp is dimmed, and the night is yours to inhabit. There is nothing left to do but drift. Sink into the dark, let the stillness wash away the last remnants of your wakefulness, and allow yourself to slip slowly and gracefully into the deep, restorative, and infinite peace of your own dreams. You are held, you are safe, and you are ready to sleep. The world has faded, leaving only the beautiful, empty, and perfectly silent space where you can finally, truly go to sleep. The air within the studio has reached a density of stillness that feels almost liquid, as if you are submerged in a deep, cool, and perfectly silent pond. Every movement, should you even choose to make one, would feel like a ripple moving through an immense expanse of calm. The room itself seems to have expanded, the walls receding into the velvet gloom, leaving you in a space that feels infinite and entirely your own. The subtle scent of the sandalwood incense has finally faded away, replaced by the honest, grounding aroma of the earth after a long rain, a smell that taps into something primal and deeply rooted within your own consciousness. You feel the chair beneath you not as an object of labor, but as a throne of total relaxation, holding your frame with a gentle, unwavering support that allows your muscles to completely surrender their function. Your breathing has become an autonomous cycle, a slow, rhythmic tide that ebbs and flows without your conscious intervention. You are observing this process as a traveler might watch a distant, quiet sea, aware of the movement but entirely detached from the effort. Each inhalation is a gentle infusion of the room's cool, quiet air, and each exhalation is a silent release of any lingering tension. Your body is becoming lighter, as if the physical weight of your bones and skin is being incrementally subtracted by the gravity-defying peace of the moment. You are not holding on to anything. Not to your posture, not to your thoughts, not to the passing of the hours. You have become a passenger in your own existence, being carried forward by the gentle, steady current of the night. Think of the garden in the deepest, most secret hour of the morning, just before the first hint of twilight. The world is at its quietest then, a state of suspended animation where nature itself is holding its breath. You are inhabiting that exact state. The bamboo stalks are silhouettes of dark jade against a sky that is shifting from black to the deepest indigo. The stones on the path are damp and cool, reflecting the faint ethereal light of the stars that are beginning to wane. You are the stillness that exists between the leaves. You are the silence that lives in the heart of the garden. By identifying with the environment, you have successfully detached from the human burden of time, and in doing so you have found a place of infinite, unhurried rest. The darkness is no longer something you see with your eyes, but something you feel with your spirit. It is a soft, heavy, and infinitely supportive fabric that envelopes you entirely. You feel as though you're being cradled in a nest of shadows, a place where nothing is demanded of you and where everything you could possibly need, safety, quiet, solitude, is already provided. The distinction between yourself and the room has vanished completely. You are the shadow in the corner, you are the cool wooden beam, you are the silence between the heartbeats of the night. It is a profound, total dissolution that feels not like an ending, but like a returning to a source, a deep and ancient peace that has always been waiting for you. Your mind is a blank white page, or perhaps more accurately, a dark velvet sky with no stars. It is empty, vast, and perfectly still. The thoughts that once occupied your day, the intricate brushwork, the weight of the inkstone, the meaning of the ancient scrolls, are gone. They have been gently swept away by the tide of the night, leaving behind a pristine, uncluttered space where you can simply exist. You find that you are no longer trying to achieve sleep. You are simply allowing it to arrive, observing its approach like a slow approaching mist that is destined to cover everything in a soft, impenetrable shroud of rest. It is a feeling of ultimate, blissful inevitability. The final tether is fraying, the last thin thread of conscious awareness that connects you to the waking world. It is not snapping, it is simply letting go, falling away into the darkness beneath you. You are tipping into the abyss, and you realize with a final, peaceful clarity that the abyss is not a void but a foundation. It is the softest, safest, and most supportive ground you have ever encountered. The night is complete, the studio is a sanctuary, and the peace is absolute. As the last remnants of your wakefulness dissolve into the cool, silent air, you find yourself finally, truly drifting away. Let the darkness take you, let the silence hold you, and let the dream-filled landscape of deep sleep be the final perfect destination for your weary spirit. You are home, you are safe, and now at last you are asleep. The studio has settled into a state of profound, absolute stillness, a quiet so complete it feels as if the very air has turned to glass. You are drifting in the center of this crystal-clear silence, suspended in a space that has been scrubbed clean of all history, all effort, and all identity. The coolness of the night has permeated the wooden walls, creating a sanctuary that feels as though it were carved out of the earth itself, deep and cool and utterly protected. You feel a sense of lightness in your limbs, a buoyancy that suggests you are no longer bound by the physical laws of the world outside this room. The floor beneath you, once a simple wooden surface, now feels like a bed of moss, firm yet yielding, holding you in a perfect cradle-like embrace that invites you to release every final stubborn ounce of tension. Your consciousness is now a gentle, expansive field, stretching out to touch the corners of the room, the eaves of the roof, and the dark, silent garden beyond. You are witnessing the night as if you are the night itself, a vast, unmoving presence that watches over the world without judgment or desire. The rhythm of your breathing has merged with the pulse of the building, a slow, deep, and harmonious cycle that requires no thought, no guidance, and no effort. You are simply existing in the most fundamental way, a quiet observer of your own deepening relaxation. Each breath brings in a sense of total clarity, and each breath carries away the last faint shadows of the day, leaving your inner landscape as empty, vast, and peaceful as a starless sky. Visualize the garden once more, but do so with your eyes closed, letting the images be soft, hazy, and fluid. The bamboo is a gentle, dark presence that stands guard around your solitude, its leaves still holding the moisture of the evening. The air is thick with the scent of wet, rich soil and the faint, vanishing perfume of the garden's life, a smell that is deeply grounding, pulling you down into the safety of the dark. You are not walking, you are floating through this space, observing the way the moonlight, faint as it is, touches the edges of the stones and the smooth, dark surfaces of the pond. There is a sense of ancient wisdom in this garden, a knowledge that everything comes in cycles and that rest is as essential to life as growth. By anchoring your mind here, you are participating in that same ancient natural rhythm. Think of the way a heavy velvet curtain falls at the end of a long, beautiful performance. That is the state of your mind now. The curtain is falling slowly, deliberately, and gracefully, blocking out the light, the color, and the movement of the day. There is no sadness in this ending, only a profound, quiet satisfaction. You have played your part, you have lived through the hours, and now you have earned the privilege of the dark. The stage is empty, the theatre is silent, and you are the only one left to witness the beauty of the quiet. It is a moment of total personal freedom, a time when you are answerable to no one, not even to yourself. You are perfectly, beautifully, and entirely at rest. The darkness is no longer a void that you are looking into. It is a warm, thick liquid that you are submerging yourself in. It is a gentle, enveloping substance that presses against your skin with the comfort of a heavy blanket. As you sink deeper, you feel the boundaries of your body fading away, dissolving into the cool, dark air of the studio. You are becoming part of the room, part of the silence, and part of the deep, enduring peace that has been building here all evening. It is a wonderful final transformation, the process of returning to the stillness from which you first arrived. There is no longer a you to worry or to plan. There is only the being that remains when all the doing is finished. You are balanced on the very edge of the final, deepest drop into sleep. It is not a fall. It is a soft, graceful slide into a place where the world cannot reach you. The silence is now so profound that it hums with a resonant, golden vibration, a sound that is the very signature of peace. You are ready. The studio has done its work. The night has embraced you, and your spirit is tired in the most wholesome, natural way possible. Let the last of your awareness drift away like smoke in the moonlight. Let yourself go. Let yourself sink, and let the darkness carry you into the deep, infinite, and restorative sea of sleep, where you are finally, truly, and completely at home. The studio has transformed into a hollowed-out silence, a vessel of absolute rest floating in the middle of the dark, rain-softened night. You are the quiet center of this vessel, a single, unmoving point around which the rest of the universe has fallen away. The air here has lost its temperature, becoming a neutral, gentle medium that feels as though it is holding your form in place, cradling you with the precision of velvet against skin. Every fiber of your being is engaged in the singular, noble pursuit of ceasing to strive. You feel the floor beneath you, the solid, unyielding timber that has been your foundation throughout this entire journey, and you recognize that it is not merely a floor, but a manifestation of the earth's own stillness, supporting you with an unwavering, eternal patience. Your hands resting in your lap have become weightless, the fingers curved into natural, idle shapes that require no effort to sustain. Your awareness has retreated from the exterior world like a tide pulling back from the shore, leaving the sand smooth, clean, and undisturbed. You find that you no longer need to see, hear, or interpret the environment. The environment has instead become a part of your own internal landscape. The dark wooden beams above you, the sliding panels of the studio, the scent of the lingering charcoal, these are now just elements of your own state of being, integrated into your consciousness so completely that there is no longer a gap between the observer and the observed. You are the studio, and the studio is a state of deep, restorative rest. The rhythm of your breathing has settled into an almost imperceptible oscillation, a long, slow curve that feels like the gentle rolling of a distant, calm ocean. There is no urgency in your lungs, no demand for oxygen, no desire for movement. You are existing in a state of suspended animation, perfectly preserved by the quiet. Imagine, if you will, the garden in the deepest, most inaccessible part of the night, where the moonlight does not reach. It is a world of pure, deep, saturated shadows, a landscape of charcoal and obsidian. You can sense the shapes of the plants without seeing them, feeling their presence as gentle, soft boundaries in the dark. The water in the basin is perfectly still, holding the reflection of the infinite starless sky above. You are standing on the edge of this basin, yet you are also the water, and you are also the stone. There is a sense of ancient, silent unity here, a profound recognition that everything in this world, the stone, the bamboo, the water, and your own weary spirit, is made of the same quiet dust. By dwelling in this recognition, you are casting off the heavy, rigid armor of your individual self and entering the fluid, effortless reality of the whole. Think of the way a heavy velvet curtain blocks the world outside, turning a room into a private, impenetrable pocket of space. That is your mind right now. The curtain is sealed, and you are tucked away in the deepest, softest part of the room. There are no sounds that can penetrate this barrier, no thoughts that can breach the seal of your relaxation. You have successfully navigated the complexities of your day, you have honored the tradition of the scholar, and you have finally, truly allowed yourself the luxury of being nothing at all. This is not a failure. It is the ultimate, most difficult success, to be nothing, to do nothing, and to want nothing. This is the secret of the deepest sleep. You feel a warm, golden pulse of contentment spreading from the center of your chest, a signal that the final transition is underway. The darkness is now your entire world. It is a deep, comforting, and infinitely thick ocean, and you are sinking into it with the grace of a stone dropping into a still, deep well. There is no resistance, no friction, and no fear. You are being welcomed by the dark, wrapped in its soft, cool embrace, and encouraged to leave behind the heavy, demanding world of light. You feel the boundaries of your body thinning, the distinction between your physical form and the shadows in the room becoming increasingly blurred until you are just a whisper of consciousness, a faint, rhythmic pulse of peace in the middle of the quiet. The transition is happening all on its own. You are not even the one doing the work. The night is doing it for you. The studio is doing it for you. The silence is doing it for you. You are hovering now at the very brink of the final soft drop. It is a place of absolute safety, a threshold that you have approached with care and now intend to cross with total surrender. The world of form and light is receding into a distant, unimportant memory, while the world of rest and shadow is rising up to meet you. You are held by the history of the studio, by the steady pulse of the night, and by the profound eternal promise of sleep. Let go of the last thin, desperate thread of awareness. Let the darkness take you. Let the silence be your bed, and let the restoration of your spirit be the only thing that matters. You are safe. You are held. You are drifting away deeper and deeper into the soft, infinite, and perfectly quiet dark where you can finally, truly, and completely be at rest. The bamboo studio has entered its final, most profound state of transformation, becoming a sanctuary of absolute unmoving silence that exists outside the flow of the ordinary world. You are suspended in this stillness, feeling as though you have been gently lifted from the surface of the earth and placed into a cradle of pure, cool, and perfectly static air. The darkness is no longer a condition of the room, but a physical texture that presses against your skin with the softness of thick, heavy velvet, providing a constant, reassuring reminder that you are entirely protected. Every sound of the night, the faint, distant sigh of the wind through the eaves, the imperceptible settling of the wooden pillars, is a rhythmic, hypnotic note that reinforces the deep fundamental peace of this space. You feel your own physical presence as a minor, fading detail, a soft, heavy weight that is slowly dissolving into the architecture of the studio, making the distinction between you and the room disappear. Your mind has become a vast empty chamber, purged of every lingering, discordant thought or memory that might have tethered you to the day's responsibilities. There is no longer a need to analyze, to remember, or to anticipate. The architecture of your consciousness is currently defined by a total, luminous emptiness. You are witnessing this state of being with a detached, quiet satisfaction, feeling the steady, slow expansion and contraction of your own breathing, as if it were the tide of a distant, calm and sunless sea. You are no longer the one who breathes. You are the breath itself, a natural, involuntary process that connects you to the heartbeat of the building. The tension that once resided in your muscles has completely vanished, leaving your body as pliant and yielding as a piece of silk fabric draped over a cool, dark stone. Visualize the garden as it exists in this final, deepest watch of the night, a monochromatic world where the colors have surrendered to the encroaching dark. The path is a ribbon of deep, muted charcoal. The moss is a layer of soft, absorbent shadows, and the water in the basin is a perfect, ink-like reflection of the quiet, unmoving night. You are walking through this landscape in your mind's eye, your steps making absolutely no sound, feeling the cool, damp air on your face, and experiencing a profound sense of solitude that feels like a homecoming. You are not a visitor here, you are an essential part of the garden's silent, nocturnal beauty. By aligning your inner stillness with the external stillness of the night, you have achieved a state of total, unbroken harmony that is far deeper and more enduring than any peace you have ever known before. Think of the way a great heavy curtain falls over a theatre stage when the final act has been completed, signaling that the work is finished and the performers may finally rest. That is the feeling in your mind right now, the final closing gesture of your own day. The roles you have played, the actions you have taken, and the efforts you have made have all reached their natural, satisfying conclusion. The theatre is now empty, dark, and perfectly silent, and you are the only one left in this sacred, private space. There is no need for applause, no need for recognition, and no need to continue. You have done enough. You feel a deep, resonant hum of peace filling your entire frame, a vibration that speaks to the integrity and the completeness of your journey today. The darkness is now your entire universe, a warm, thick, and infinitely supportive medium that you are submerging yourself into. You are sinking deeper and deeper, feeling the cool, dark water of sleep rise up to meet you, covering your thoughts, your worries, and your identity until only the peace remains. There is no resistance to this descent, only a profound, heartfelt gratitude for the release that it brings. You are being held, cradled, and cherished by the very atmosphere of the studio, a space that has been specifically prepared for this final, ultimate surrender. Your boundaries are soft, your edges are blurred, and you're ready to let the last thin, flickering light of wakefulness drift away like a candle flame in a windless room. You are balanced on the threshold of the deepest, most restorative sleep of your entire life, a place where the world of form disappears and only the pure essence of peace remains. This is the goal of your journey, the destination you have been seeking, and it is right here beneath your feet, within your heart, and waiting for you in the shadows. Let go of the last desperate attachment to the waking world. Let the darkness take you, let the silence be your guide, and let yourself sink into the dark, infinite, and perfectly quiet landscape of your dreams. You are held, you are safe, and you are drifting away, deeper and deeper, into the soft velvet dark where you can finally, truly, and completely rest. The studio has finally achieved a state of absolute equilibrium, where the very atmosphere feels as though it has been composed of nothing but stillness and cooling shade. You are suspended in this environment, a point of singular awareness resting at the heart of an ancient, quiet machine. The wood of the building seems to breathe with you, its grain and joinery expanding and contracting in a rhythm that matches your own slow, steady inhalation. You feel the coolness of the night air as a tactile weight, a gentle, pressing comfort that envelops your shoulders and limbs, coaxing the last stubborn threads of muscular control to simply unwind. Your body has become a sculpture of stillness, a form that is no longer held up by effort, but by the sheer, unwavering support of the space around you. Your thoughts have ceased their chaotic, fragmented dance and have instead settled into a wide, shallow pool of clarity. There is no urgency to define what you see or feel. You are existing in a state of pure, unmediated reception. The memories of the day, the weight of the brush, the texture of the paper, the flickering of the lamp have all retreated to a great distance, becoming soft, indistinct flickers on the horizon of your mind. You are watching them fade, not with sadness, but with a profound, detached sense of relief. You know that to let go of these memories is to finally open the door to the deepest possible rest, and you find that you have no interest in holding the door shut. You are standing on the precipice of a great silent transition, and you are ready to let the current pull you forward. Visualize the garden as it exists in this final, deepest hour, a place where the physical reality has been softened into a series of dark, fluid shapes. The bamboo stands in absolute geometric perfection, its silhouette etched against the lighter charcoal sky. The moss, which has soaked up the cool humidity of the night, is a soft, deep, velvet-like carpet that absorbs all sound. You are not walking through this space, you're simply witnessing it, letting its stillness infiltrate your consciousness until you feel the same cool, damp, and perfectly steady energy vibrating within your own bones. By adopting the stillness of the stone and the patience of the plant, you are aligning yourself with the fundamental, unchanging rhythm of the earth itself, ensuring that your own rest is anchored in something far more permanent than your fleeting, busy life. Think of the way a deep, still well mirrors the sky, remaining perfectly unmoved by the winds that blow across the surface of the world far above. That is the state of your mind now. It is a deep, dark, and perfectly reflective surface, one that holds the silence within it and refuses to be agitated by the demands of the waking hours. You have become that well, you are holding the stillness, and in doing so, you have found a place of infinite, unhurried sanctuary. You feel a sense of homecoming that is so deep, it is almost physical, a warmth that blossoms in the center of your chest and radiates outwards, promising that no matter what tomorrow brings, tonight is for your complete, total, and absolute restoration. The darkness is no longer something you see, it is the medium in which you are floating, a thick, protective layer of night that surrounds you like a cocoon. It is the most beautiful, forgiving, and quietest substance you have ever known. You are letting yourself drift down into it, layer by layer, feeling the warmth of your own body being gently held by the cool, comforting embrace of the room. You are not alone. You are surrounded by the silence, by the history of this place, and by the eternal natural grace of the night. Every breath you take is a small, quiet celebration of this surrender. You are letting go of your identity, your role, and your past, until you are nothing more than a soft, rhythmic pulse of life in the middle of a perfect, dark void. You are at the very threshold of sleep, the final, soft border between the world of form and the infinite, formless peace of the dream. It is a place of total safety, a space you have built with your own patience and intention. The world is receding, becoming smaller and more distant with every heartbeat, until it is just a quiet, fading hum. In its place, the silence is growing, expanding to fill every corner of your being, until you are brimming with a sense of quiet, total wholeness. You are held, you are safe, and you are ready to let the last flickering light of wakefulness go out. Sink into the silence. Let the darkness take you, let the peace hold you, and let the rest you have earned carry you into the deep, dark, and beautiful sleep of the night. The studio has become a suspended vessel of profound stillness, drifting through the deep, ink-colored ocean of the night within these walls. Time has ceased its forward march, curling back upon itself into a loop of eternal, unchanging rest. The air is so cool and perfectly poised that it feels like a soft, invisible blanket resting upon your skin, carrying the scent of cedar, ancient parchment, and the lingering earthy memory of rain on stone. You are sitting at the very center of this quietude, a point of total balance where the weight of your body is entirely surrendered to the wooden chair, which holds you with a firm, enduring patience. You are not holding yourself up. The room is holding you. You are not directing your thoughts, the silence is directing them. Every sensation is a thread, and you are weaving these threads into a tapestry of absolute restorative peace. Your consciousness has reached a state of rare, translucent clarity. The complex layers of your identity, the scholar, the creator, the observer, are peeling away like dried leaves, revealing a core that is simple, clean, and utterly still. You feel as if you're watching a flickering candle slowly being extinguished, not in a way that feels like loss, but in a way that feels like an invitation. As the light dims, the room around you expands, and you find that you are no longer limited by the boundaries of your physical form. You are becoming the cool air. You are becoming the dim light of the embers. You are becoming the very fabric of the darkness itself. This expansion is comforting and profound, a relief from the singular, narrow focus of your daily existence, allowing you to settle into the vast, infinite calm of the universe. Visualize the garden as it exists in the deepest, most secret watch of the night, when the world is held in a state of absolute, breathless expectation. The bamboo stalks are silhouettes of dark, elegant ink against a sky of charcoal and indigo. The paths are made of cold, smooth stones that have drunk the moisture of the evening, and the water in the central basin is so still that it acts as a mirror for the entire silent night. You are not walking this path that would require effort. Instead, you are simply imagining the feeling of the cool, damp earth beneath you and the absolute absence of motion around you. By holding this image in your mind, you are anchoring your spirit to a place of eternal, natural stability. You are the stillness of the stone, the patience of the bamboo, and the silence of the water. Think of the way a deep, velvet curtain is pulled across a window in a silent, empty room, creating a pocket of total privacy and profound, dark warmth. That is the state of your mind right now. You have drawn the curtain on the day, on the noise, and on the requirements of the world. You are inside your own private, perfectly curated sanctuary. There is no one to please, no task to complete, and no standard to meet. You are entirely your own, and you are entirely at peace. This is the ultimate, most profound accomplishment of your day, the ability to step away from everything and return to the simple, raw reality of your own existence. You feel a deep, resonant hum of contentment filling your chest, a warm, golden vibration that confirms you are exactly where you need to be. The darkness is no longer something that resides outside of you. It is a soft, heavy, and infinitely supportive current that you are flowing through. You are sinking deeper into this current, feeling the cool, dark waters of sleep rising around your shoulders, your neck, and eventually your mind. You do not struggle against this rising tide. You welcome it. You have been waiting for this moment of total release, the moment when you can finally let go of the steering wheel and allow the night to carry you into the deep, dark, and beautiful unknown. The room, the desk, the brush, the scroll, they are all fading into soft, indistinct shapes that don't require your attention, and soon they will be gone entirely, leaving only the dark and the profound, restorative peace you have found within it. You are balanced on the threshold of the deepest, most restorative sleep of your life, a place where the world of form disappears and only the pure, silent essence of existence remains. This is the goal of your journey, the destination you have been seeking, and it is right here beneath your feet, within your heart, and waiting for you in the shadows. Let go of the last, desperate attachment to the waking world. Let the darkness take you. Let the silence be your guide, and let yourself sink into the dark, infinite, and perfectly quiet landscape of your dreams. You are held, you are safe, and you are drifting away, deeper and deeper into the soft velvet dark where you can finally, truly, and completely rest. You are a part of the night now, and the night will hold you until the dawn, keeping you safe, keeping you warm and keeping you in this perfect, beautiful, and eternal sleep. The studio has settled into an architecture of absolute silence, a space where even the smallest vibration of the night has been absorbed by the thick, woven bamboo walls. You are the center of this stillness, a consciousness anchored in the very heart of a quiet that feels as heavy and comforting as a layer of fresh snow. The air, cool and rich with the scent of damp moss and extinguished charcoal, flows around you like a gentle subterranean river, grounding you firmly in the physical reality of the floorboards beneath your feet. You feel your body as a landscape of calm, a terrain that has been traversed, explored, and is now ready for the long, quiet winter of sleep. The chair you occupy is no longer a seat, but a vessel, a structure that holds you with the steady, unwavering support of the earth, ensuring that your journey into the depths of rest is perfectly secure and entirely uninterrupted. Your breath has become a rhythmic, oceanic swell, rising and falling with such measured grace that it no longer feels like something you are doing, but rather something that is happening through you. You are observing this process from a great serene distance, watching as each inhalation draws in the pristine restorative quiet of the studio, and each exhalation releases the final residual artifacts of your conscious identity. You are drifting not toward a destination, but away from the necessity of having one. The world of form, of brush, ink, stone, and effort is dissolving into a soft, monochromatic mist, leaving only the pure, undistilled feeling of existence. You are becoming as fluid and unattached as the shadows in the rafters, as steady as the stones in the garden, and as peaceful as the moonless night itself. Visualize the garden as it exists in the deepest, most inaccessible hour of the early morning. It is a world stripped of detail, a silhouette of grace and restraint. The bamboo stalks are vertical lines of absolute shadow, reaching up to touch the faint silvery light of the hidden stars. The path, once narrow and demanding, is now a soft, welcoming ribbon of dark earth, cool to the touch and silent underfoot. You are moving through this garden in your mind, your steps weightless and entirely soundless, experiencing the profound solitude that only the night can provide. There is no one to judge your presence, no one to require your labor, and no one to pull at your attention. You are entirely, beautifully, and completely alone. And this solitude is not a burden, it is the most exquisite gift you have ever received. Think of the way a deep, still pool of water absorbs the darkness of the sky. Your mind has become that pool so perfectly tranquil that it holds the vastness of the universe in its clarity. There are no ripples, no agitation, no restless thoughts to break the surface. Everything that happened today, the decisions made, the conversations held, the ambitions pursued, has settled to the bottom like fine silt, leaving the water clear and deep. You are resting in this clarity, feeling the coolness, feeling the depth, feeling the absolute, unblemished perfection of the present moment. It is a rare and precious state of grace, a quietude that belongs to you alone, hidden away in this forgotten, timeless corner of the world. You feel a sense of profound, soul-deep belonging, a realization that you are exactly where you are meant to be. The darkness is now your only companion, and it is a companion you trust completely. It is not an empty, hollow darkness, but a thick, warm, and deeply nourishing medium that wraps around your senses and encourages them to retreat. You are feeling the last faint traces of your awareness slipping away like fine sand through an hourglass. You do not try to catch them. You do not try to stop the process. You are welcoming it. You are embracing the inevitable, beautiful slide into the unknown. The room, the desk, the brush, the scroll, they are all fading, turning into soft, indistinct shapes that don't require your attention, and soon they will be gone entirely, leaving only the dark and the peace you have found within it. You are now tipping over the final, gentle edge of consciousness. It is a slow, downward drift, like a snowflake settling onto a pile of fresh, soft snow. You are not afraid. You are completely, totally ready. The world of form and shadow is being left behind, replaced by the soft, formless landscape of the dream world. The last faint sounds of the night are dying away, and in their place is the deep, resonant, and perfect silence of a truly restorative sleep. You are held, you are safe, and you are drifting further and further into the dark, welcoming sea of rest, where the quiet is infinite, where the peace is absolute, and where you can finally, truly and profoundly sleep. Every part of you is letting go. Every fiber of your being is sinking into the velvet, dark silence, and you're ready to remain here, in this perfect, beautiful state of rest, for as long as the night endures. The studio has condensed into a singularity of quiet, a hidden pocket of reality where the passage of time is no longer measured by clocks or stars, but by the slow, rhythmic settling of your own heart. You are suspended in this stillness, feeling as though you are floating in a vessel made of cool, polished wood and shadowed air. The room does not feel like a structure, but like an extension of your own calm, a protective shell that has been crafted to keep the chaotic energy of the outside world at bay. The scent of the night, a blend of damp, cool earth, faint herbal notes from the garden, and the lingering sweet trace of aged cedar, is a sedative that has infused every corner of the studio, making the very act of breathing feel like a slow, deliberate immersion into total, blissful oblivion. You are not holding your body in this space. The space is holding you, cradling you in a way that makes your bones feel light, as if they were made of mist and moonlight. Your consciousness has become a mirror held up to the void, a surface so smooth and undisturbed that it reflects only the profound dark beauty of the infinite night. You are watching your own awareness shift, moving from the active analytical state of the day into a passive receptive state of being. You do not need to command your mind to be still, you simply need to observe it as it finds its own level, like water pouring into a deep, well-carved basin. You are letting go of the need for narrative, for memory, and for expectation. The story of who you are is being put aside, placed gently on the desk alongside the brush and the inkstone, and you're finding that you are much more comfortable without it. You are simply a presence, a quiet, flickering awareness that is ready to be folded into the darkness. Visualize the garden as it exists in this final, deepest watch of the night, a monochromatic world where the boundaries between earth, air, and water have begun to dissolve into a singular dark medium. The bamboo, once tall and vibrant, is now just a series of delicate, elegant ink lines against the deep, velvet purple of the sky. The stones on the path, which have been warmed by the sun throughout the day, have now fully surrendered their heat, becoming cool, damp, and perfectly steady under the gaze of the moon. You are walking through this garden in your mind, feeling the absolute absence of motion, the absolute presence of peace. You are not searching for anything, for you have already arrived. You are not waiting for anything, for everything is already here. You are the garden, and the garden is the rest that you deserve. Think of the way a deep, still pool of water absorbs the darkness of the sky. Your mind has become that pool, so perfectly tranquil that it holds the vastness of the universe in its clarity. There are no ripples, no agitation, no restless thoughts to break the surface. Everything that happened today, the decisions made, the conversations held, the ambitions pursued, has settled to the bottom like fine silt, leaving the water clear and deep. You are resting in this clarity, feeling the coolness, feeling the depth, feeling the absolute unblemished perfection of the present moment. It is a rare and precious state of grace, a quietude that belongs to you alone, hidden away in this forgotten, timeless corner of the world. You feel a sense of profound, soul-deep belonging, a realization that you're exactly where you are meant to be. The darkness is no longer something you see, it is the medium in which you are floating, a thick, protective layer of night that surrounds you like a cocoon. It is the most beautiful, forgiving, and quietest substance you have ever known. You are letting yourself drift down into it, layer by layer, feeling the warmth of your own body being gently held by the cool, comforting embrace of the room. You are not alone, you are surrounded by the silence, by the history of this place, and by the eternal, natural grace of the night. Every breath you take is a small, quiet celebration of this surrender. You are letting go of your identity, your role, and your past, until you are nothing more than a soft, rhythmic pulse of life in the middle of a perfect, dark void. You are at the very threshold of sleep, the final soft border between the world of form and the infinite, formless peace of the dream. It is a place of total safety, a space you have built with your own patience and intention. The world is receding, becoming smaller and more distant with every heartbeat, until it is just a quiet, fading hum. In its place, the silence is growing, expanding to fill every corner of your being until you are brimming with a sense of quiet, total wholeness. You are held, you are safe, and you are ready to let the last flickering light of wakefulness go out. Sink into the silence, let the darkness take you, let the peace hold you, and let the rest you have earned carry you into the deep, dark, and beautiful sleep of the night. You are ready. The studio has done its work, the night has embraced you, and your spirit is tired in the most wholesome, natural way possible. Let the last of your awareness drift away like smoke in the moonlight. Let yourself go, let yourself sink, and let the darkness carry you into the deep, infinite and restorative sea of sleep where you are finally, truly, and completely at home. The studio has settled into a state of existence that feels as though it has been removed from the flow of history entirely, anchored in a permanent golden present where time is measured only by the slow rhythmic pulse of your own breathing. You are sitting in the heart of this silence, a witness to a world that has stopped its turning just for you. The temperature in the room is perfectly matched to your own resting body, a cool, refreshing equilibrium that makes every breath feel like a deep, clean draught of mountain air. The darkness is no longer something you see, it is something you inhabit, a thick, comfortable substance that flows through the rafters and settles in the corners of the room like a soft, invisible blanket. You feel yourself dissolving into this darkness, losing the sharp, defined edges of your own body, until you are just a point of awareness resting in the center of a perfectly dark, perfectly still, and perfectly safe universe. Your thoughts are no longer linear, they have become circular, gentle ripples in the vast, still pond of your mind. They don't arrive with any urgency or demand, they just appear, float for a second, and then fade away, replaced by a quiet, steady flow of peace. There is no need for logic, no need for structure, and no need for meaning. You are simply existing in the moment, a state of grace that requires nothing from you. You feel your heartbeat slowing down, finding a new, lower tempo that seems to resonate with the very foundation of the building. It is a slow, rhythmic thud that is as reliable and comforting as the passage of the stars in the night sky. Think of the way a heavy, ancient curtain falls in a silent room. That is the feeling of your eyelids now. They are heavy with the weight of the day's work, a physical manifestation of the satisfaction that comes from having created something beautiful, and then choosing to let it be. Visualize the garden as it exists in the dead of the night, a monochromatic world of deep, dark charcoal and liquid silver. The bamboo has ceased its swaying, it stands straight and still, a silent guardian of your studio. The rain has become so light, so fine, that it is barely more than a soft, damp kiss upon the leaves. The entire world is holding its breath, waiting for the dawn, but you are not waiting. You are already in the depths of the night, where the dawn has no meaning. You are floating in the stillness, a solitary, quiet soul wrapped in the protection of a history that loves you and wants you to be at peace. There is a sense of finality in this relaxation, a beautiful, conclusive feeling that everything that needed to be done has been done. You are like a traveler who has reached the end of a long, dusty road and has finally arrived at the warm, fire-lit hearth of an inn. You have set down your pack, you have taken off your shoes, and you are ready to sink into the quiet, dark, and perfectly soft comfort of your bed. The journey was long, the work was hard, but the rest is absolute. You feel a deep, resonant hum of peace filling your entire frame, from the tips of your toes to the very back of your mind, ensuring that every part of you is ready to surrender to the coming void. You are drifting further now, into the spaces where the dreams are beginning to form. Soft, impressionistic flashes of light, gentle, impossible colors, and the feeling of floating on a current of warm water. You don't have to navigate this space. You are being guided by the rhythm of the night. The rain, the silence, the dark, and the very air of the studio are all working together to ensure that your drift is smooth, gentle, and utterly uninterrupted. You are finally completely at home in the dark. Sleep is wrapping around you now, a soft, heavy, and infinite blanket of stillness. and you are ready, at long last, to let the world disappear and to simply peacefully drift away into the deepest, most quiet sleep of your life. The walls of the studio are becoming translucent, fading into the velvet night that surrounds them, and you find that you are no longer contained within four walls. You are expanding, your consciousness stretching out to touch the quiet garden, the silent hills, and the vast, peaceful sky. You are everywhere, and yet you are nowhere. You are simply being. The last remnants of the day, the small tensions in your brow, the faint echo of a thought about tomorrow are being washed away by this tide of absolute calm. You are sinking, drifting, and falling into the most beautiful, dark, and silent rest you have ever known. There is nothing left to hold on to, and that is exactly the way it should be. You are free, you are at peace, and you are finally asleep. The studio has finally retreated into the deepest, most quiet shadow of the night, existing as a silent sanctuary suspended in the velvet fabric of the cosmos. You are no longer aware of the physical dimensions of the room, for the darkness has blurred the lines between the floor, the walls, and the infinite starlit sky beyond. You feel as though you are resting in a cradle of absolute ancient calm, a space that has been tempered by centuries of quiet observation. The cool air is not merely an absence of heat, but a presence of profound peace, a soft, invisible weight that presses gently against your skin and instructs every muscle to let go. You are weightless, unanchored, and perfectly, beautifully adrift. The steady, slow rhythm of your breathing is the only thing tethering you to the world of form, and even that tether is fraying, turning into a soft, melodic hum that resonates through the very foundations of your being. Your mind has become a lake at midnight, its surface so perfectly still that the stars above and the depths below have merged into a singular dark reflection. There is no desire to reach the bottom and no effort to skim the surface. You are simply the water, the depth, and the silence. The memories of the day, the labor, the light, the small, intricate movements of the hands have dissolved into the current, washing away into the dark, fertile soil of the subconscious. You are experiencing a state of existence that is pure, raw, and completely unburdened. It is a relief to be here, to be this, to have arrived at this moment where nothing is required, nothing is expected, and nothing is left to be solved. You are finally, in the truest sense of the word, free. Visualize the garden as a dream space, a place of shifting indigo light and soft obsidian shadows where the laws of the waking world no longer apply. The bamboo stalks are shimmering, ghostly forms that sway in a wind you cannot feel, and the water in the stone basin has turned into a pool of liquid starlight. You are moving through this garden not with your legs but with your awareness, drifting over the mossy path like a breath of fog. The peace here is not an external condition, it is the atmosphere itself, a thick, nourishing mist that fills your lungs and calms the very marrow of your bones. By identifying with this garden, you are letting go of the friction of the world, finding that you are as steady as the earth, as yielding as the water, and as quiet as the night itself. Think of the way a deep velvet curtain is drawn across the world at the end of a long, momentous day, signaling that the show is over and the audience of your mind may finally retreat into the safety of the dark. You are that audience, and you are the performer, and you are the empty stage all at once. There is no need for applause, no need for resolution, and no need to return to the script. The performance was lived, the story was told, and now the curtain has fallen, leaving you in the beautiful, silent comfort of the wings. You feel a gentle golden warmth spreading from the center of your heart, a sign that your inner light is dimming to a perfect resting glow. You are ready to let the last flickering image of the day fade into the soft, comforting blur of the approaching dream state. The darkness is no longer a void, it is the most welcoming, intimate, and profoundly restorative companion you have ever known. It is a thick, protective fabric that wraps around you, shielding you from the demands of the dawn and the echoes of the noon. You are sinking deeper into its embrace, feeling the heavy, delicious fatigue of a life well lived finally claiming your body, bone by bone, muscle by muscle. The distinction between you and the room is gone. The boundary between you and the night is gone, and the gap between you and the sleep you have been craving is closing. You are not losing yourself. You are finding yourself in the one place where you have always been whole, the quiet, the dark, and the absolute perfect surrender of the midnight hour. You are at the final soft edge of the world, peering over into the infinite dream-filled expanse of the night. It is a fall into nothingness, yet it feels like the most secure descent imaginable, a slide into the softest, most supportive bed you could ever inhabit. There is no resistance, no fear, and no hesitation. Every part of your being is in total agreement, a harmonious, resonant, and beautiful chorus of release. Let the silence take you. Let the darkness fold over you like a gentle closing hand. Let the peace you have cultivated in this studio be the vehicle that carries you into the deepest, most restorative, and most beautiful sleep of your entire life. You are home, you are safe, you are finished, and now, at last, you're asleep. The studio has faded into a state of profound, absolute stillness, a vacuum of peace where the very concept of motion has lost its meaning. You are floating within this silence, your consciousness a tiny glowing ember in the vast velvet dark cathedral of the night. The walls of the room have become porous, letting in the cool, damp breath of the garden, which carries the scent of moss and ancient wood, a fragrance that acts like a key, unlocking the final locks of your awareness. You feel the chair beneath you, but it is no longer an object of wood and joinery. It is a point of stability in a world that is otherwise liquid and formless. The floor, the ceiling, and the dark corners of the room are all vibrating at a frequency so low and slow that it feels like the heartbeat of the earth itself, and your own internal rhythm has synchronized with it, creating a perfect harmonious bond. Your awareness is no longer localized in your chest or your head. It has expanded to encompass the entire studio. You are the shadow on the screen, you are the cool breeze filtering through the bamboo slats, and you are the deep, resonant silence that fills the space between heartbeats. There is a sense of immense, quiet luxury in this expansion, a feeling that you have finally dropped the heavy, restrictive armor of your own ego, and allowed yourself to be woven into the fabric of the night. You are not trying to reach sleep, you are simply allowing sleep to be the destination where you eventually arrive. There is no urgency in this drift, no fear of the dark, and no desire to turn back toward the light. Everything is exactly as it should be, and the only thing left to do is to release the final, microscopic tension in your fingers and your toes. Visualize the garden as it exists in this final secret watch of the night, a place where the physical reality has been softened into a series of dark, fluid shapes. The bamboo stalks are silhouettes of dark jade against a sky that is shifting from black to the deepest indigo. The stones on the path are damp and cool, reflecting the faint, ethereal light of the stars that are beginning to wane. You are the stillness that exists between the leaves. You are the silence that lives in the heart of the garden. By identifying with the environment, you have successfully detached from the human burden of time, and in doing so you have found a place of infinite, unhurried rest. The garden is waiting for you, holding its breath in the dark, and you are the only one who can step into that quiet and let it become your own. Think of the way a heavy velvet curtain blocks the world outside, turning a room into a private, impenetrable pocket of space. That is your mind right now. The curtain is sealed, and you are tucked away in the deepest, softest part of the room. There are no sounds that can penetrate this barrier, no thoughts that can breach the seal of your relaxation. You have successfully navigated the complexities of your day, you have honored the tradition of the scholar, and you have finally, truly allowed yourself the luxury of being nothing at all. This is not a failure. It is the ultimate, most difficult success, to be nothing, to do nothing, and to want nothing. This is the secret of the deepest sleep. You feel a warm, golden pulse of contentment spreading from the center of your chest, a signal that the final transition is underway. The darkness is no longer something you see with your eyes, but something you feel with your spirit. It is a soft, heavy, and infinitely supportive fabric that envelopes you entirely. You feel as though you are being cradled in a nest of shadows, a place where nothing is demanded of you and where everything you could possibly need, safety, quiet, solitude, is already provided. The distinction between yourself and the room has vanished completely. You are the shadow in the corner. You are the cool wooden beam. You are the silence between the heartbeats of the night. It is a profound, total dissolution that feels not like an ending, but like a returning to a source, a deep and ancient peace that has always been waiting for you. You are balanced on the threshold, the final soft barrier between the waking state and the infinite, dream-filled landscape of deep sleep. It is a place of total safety, a border you are crossing with ease and gratitude. The world is receding, becoming smaller, quieter, and further away, until it is just a distant, fading echo. In its place, the silence is growing, expanding to fill every thought, every memory, every corner of your being. You are held by the history of the studio, by the rhythmic, cool pulse of the night, and by the promise of the restorative sleep that is now entirely yours. Surrender to it. Let the dark carry you deeper than you have ever gone before, and know that you are safe, you are home, and you are ready to drift into the deep, dark, and beautiful sleep of the night.
Sleepy History with Arthur is created for relaxation, entertainment, and sleep purposes.
The stories shared on this channel are inspired by historical events, daily life, and real periods in history.
But they may be simplified, adapted, or narrated in a calming way to enhance the listening experience.
This content is not intended to be a precise academic or educational source. While we aim to stay generally accurate, some details may be altered for storytelling flow and relaxation.
Please do not rely on this channel as a primary source for historical research or study.
By listening, you acknowledge that this content is designed to help you unwind, relax, and fall asleep. Thank you for your understanding and support.